I'm unstoppable. Forget your defense, nothing but an obstacle. Run it back, switch it up, call it audible. Serving up them Hail Marys till the game over with. The showstopper so hot, you gotta blow on it. I said I'll huff and I'll puff, then I'll pass to my left while I'm looking to my right. Hit them right in the chest, it be looking like magic. Better give me the throne. I ain't talking about Patrick, but I rep my home. I'm never at the end of my zone, I'm bad to the bone. Eating up these pig skins like they chicharrones. And you a douche cabron. Mira, mira at the mirror on the wall. I'm the greatest of them all. They gon' put me in the hall. Your name is only written in a bathroom stall. Quit your stalling.
Yes, sir, baby. Welcome to the Tennessee Titan Podcast, baby. Titans Coliseum. We got a lot to discuss today. It's me, and my co-host Leonard Firestone. You know we gonna do the darn thing tonight, baby. Let's get it.
Let's go, man. How's your night going? How's your day been?
It's going good. It's going good. You know we got some big news to talk about. We're gonna go ahead and let our guests in here, and you know we're gonna talk about these darn Titans. Boy, they always get on our nerves, don't they?
Bruh, man, it's one thing after another, man. It's just, man, curveball after curveball.
Man. Well, yeah, let's go ahead and invite the guests in here and we can go and talk this thing out, man.
Already.
He's my boy.
Yo, what's going on, fellas?
Yes,
What's
sir.
going good? How y'all
We
doing?
got a special guest, AJ Brown, in here, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, y'all know, man. I'm always over.
First out the Kiwis.
You know, he cooked us up on Sunday, man. You know how it is, man. He had to come up on here and tell us how it is, man. What happened to him?
Right. Got him licking his fingers and all.
Yeah. So we had some big news today, man. I mean, that one hurt, you know what I'm saying? For what he's done for this franchise and what he's done for as a Tennessee Titan and how much he loves the Titans. We fired GM Jon Robinson today, man. What y'all think about that?
I'm
gonna let AJ go first.
Yeah, go ahead, AJ.
Okay, man. How you guys doing today?
Man, we chilling.
I'm good, man.
So, man, I was asleep. I was scrolling on Twitter. It said, IROB report. He verified. So it said the Titans have fired the GM, Jon Robinson. I'm like, what? So I just started scrolling. Then, hey, it was true, but man, it hit me. But I'm thinking like, it's so many like it's mixed emotions. And then I'm thinking like, okay, our team, what? We 7-5, 7-6. We first in our division. So I mean, it says a lot on both ends, like the good and the bad. But it shows me like there ain't no place to be like bull jiving around like in this league, man. And JROB made a mistake after that AJ trade, and that was the last straw, I think. But yeah, a lot of people is saying bad things about him and good things, but he did bring us like back, but like it's been kind of like just like straight. We ain't went up at all. Like I think he reached his peak though, honestly, because he done whiffed on a lot of little picks, but I think he just done stay like this instead of trying to go up and like improve. And him and Vrabel, I thought they was like this, but honestly, I don't think so, man. I think there's something going on that we don't know about, because you feel me, in the middle of the season, a winning record, it's some more info that we don't know, man. So hey, it is what it is now, man. You gotta feel me. Let's play ball. Hey, anything can happen, but hey, it's business at the end of the day, man. It's all business. If you ain't got a job to do, if you ain't doing the job, hey, you gotta go.
Get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? It's just like working at McDonald's or something, man. You know what I'm saying? You be cool with these people, and next time they gone. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that is what it is. We were talking earlier. I think that Jon Robinson as a GM, man, I just feel like he wasn't getting us over the hump. Like we kind of just got to where we need to in the playoffs, and we kind of just plateaued. You know what I'm saying? And we started kind of going down a little bit, and I was like, nah, he need to go. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but what y'all think about it?
Yeah, man. I mean, I can't sit up here and kick the man while he's down. I'm not gonna do that because at the end of the day, he's still a good GM.
Yeah.
I mean, he just kind of like peaked out, like you said. I mean, it was great when he first came in because we was literally at the bottom. I mean, he brought in DeMarco Murray, drafted Derrick Henry, drafted Kevin Byard. I mean, he hit that first draft, man, and it had been a long time since we really hit in a draft like that. And the drafts after that, I mean, although he made some good picks, I mean, some of them picks, I mean, they were just questionable. Like the Corey Davis at number 5 or whatever, when you knew that this man, hadn't ran a 40. I mean, you really didn't know what kind of shape he was in when you drafted him that high. And then he followed that up with Adoree Jackson, in which he was still raw as a cornerback. I mean, USC was using them like, a Swiss Army knife or whatever. I mean, he was special teams. He's playing on offense some. I mean, the guy came in as what? He was drafted at 25, I think they draft something like that. He came in, I mean, not even experienced as a cornerback.
Full cornerback, right.
Just like Farley. I mean, Farley had been tried out as wide receiver, and wasn't it another position Farley was playing before then or something?
Yeah. I mean, he had all the physical tools to be a good corner, but he ain't an NFL corner, man. Like,
it's like he took a bunch of chances on guys who didn't have a lot of experience playing the position that they was asking them to play, just Kevin Dodd or whatever. I mean, you can go to that. I mean, the guy only had like one good year of production coming out of Clemson, and then you bring him into a new system. I mean, didn't Clemson play a 4-3 at the time? They was playing a 4-3.
Playing the same defense we was playing.
And it cost them in the
list right now. I'm gonna pull up the list right now and see all the players.
Yeah, do that.
Right now, I mean, just look at it. That's a lot of players that you don't know. I mean, there's a couple hits on there, but there's a lot of players that's just below average. You get what I'm saying? Like, look, rated. You know what I'm saying? Jadavion Clowney, Rashad Evans in the first round. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's not even a first round talent. Darren Evans, who didn't even play a game. Like, I feel like he's. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, and that's like kind of what we were saying now on the podcast a couple weeks ago, is that like his retention. That's the only thing that's like a negative towards him. Like, the draft's good, we could put together a team, but at the end of the day, none of those players stick around. If they are hits, they go to other teams. If not, with their complete miss, and then they're not nowhere to be found, or they're on practice squad. So like that list is everybody in the media and everybody else where it's like, this don't make sense. He's done good and winning seasons, and it's like, yeah, he's done that, but we don't retain players. We don't re-sign, and that's also another part of his job, is to re-sign players and keep players around that are good. He doesn't do that well at all. He'll draft and he'll take shots in free agency, but for whatever reason, we do not re-sign our own talent.
We don't re-sign people, and then he draft players that don't barely even play for us. Like, it's like he never even players and even play. You know what I'm saying? It's just he took a lot of chances. His flaws started to get us. That's what the problem. The flaws. You know what I'm saying, in his game.
He took a lot of gambles.
Yes.
Let me ask y'all this though. Do y'all, you mentioned his flaws or whatever. Do y'all think that, he just didn't all I care about some position groups at the time, or do y'all think that he just, straight up didn't know what he was doing when it came to drafting at those positions?
I think he knew what he was doing. I just feel like he's not the guy that's gonna get you to a Super Bowl. Like he's gonna get you to the point where he's gonna get you to the point where people are going to look at you and see you as, okay, this team has potential, but it's like they're missing something. You get what I'm saying? That's kind of how the Tennessee Titans work. That's why people are calling us boring, because they knew in watching us that that this isn't a Super Bowl team. You get what I'm saying? They're good. You know what I'm saying? They're above average. They may be mediocre at times, you know what I'm saying? They may play above their means every now and then, but they just average. You get what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's people that just show up, do their job, and get it executed. Like, and that's what we've been kind of talking about a lot, is that he just can't get, like, he got us better than where we was at. But he's like, we got to that climate, and now we're just been stuck at this position. And it's like, we can't get past it. We can't get past the 9-7 record. We can't get a playoff win, but we look good. We're good a team. We win our division, but it's like kind of like Amy said in that last sentence of her announcement, is like, we just want to do better. Like we expect that we can do better things. I can't exactly remember what her exact words were, but it was saying we're doing good, yes, but we believe we're capable of a lot better. And I think we are too. Like, he's been here since 2016. He's 66-43 of our record under him, and then we're 48-29 under Vrabel. So we're doing good. We got winning records, but it was that you just don't retain players. It's constantly a cycle of players coming in and coming out. Like we were talking earlier, the last 3 years, the wide receiver core has been different all 3 years. It's like, so how do you expect Tannehill to get anything truly done and do anything when he doesn't even at least have one wide receiver that sticks around that he can get comfortable with and get familiar with? And that goes for a lot of other positions as well. Our DB situation changes around a lot. Like, it's just unreal how much we have of people coming in and coming out without nobody truly sticking around. Like, that first draft was good, yes, but the only people that got re-signed out of that draft is Derrick Henry and Kevin Byard. Every other draft we've had out of that, only one player has been signed and kept around out of those draft picks. Everybody else has been gone. Like, it's just been it's been crazy. You got to draft, but you got to keep players around. You got to know how to work that salary cap. And that was another thing. We didn't have no money coming into this year either. Like, he was managing that salary cap poorly. Yeah. I'm thankful for everything he's done. He's a great GM and everything, but that's the part that he just doesn't have yet to get us to the next step we need to be at. I'm grateful for everything, but I just don't think he's the guy that's at the next spot. And I think Jonathan says it right there too. I agree. You know, he doesn't want to look outside the building to fix holes in the roster neither. He's kind of stuck on a mentality of like, he liked those slot receivers. He likes those guys that block. He likes those special teams, gritty players. But it's like, we need people outside of that too. But it's like he was just stuck on those players. And it kind of feels at some point he got in the same cycle of, we don't need to draft players. We need to replace who we just had this year. Now we got to replace Kevin Dodd. Oh, shit, that didn't work. Now we need to go replace Corey Davis. Oh, shit, that didn't work. Now we got to go replace A.J. Brown. Shit, that didn't work. Like, we're constantly playing catch-up in the draft now when we shouldn't be playing catch-up in the draft. Like, we're shooting ourselves in the foot.
So, look,
Now go ahead.
Oh, here, okay.
I was going to say, oh, damn.
You good, bro. You good, bro. You good.
All right. Yeah. What I was about to say was, I look at it from our standpoint, and I look at the rest of the AFC. Man, we gotta look past it. This division we're not gonna be seeing nobody in this division in the playoffs. I'm looking at KC. I'm looking at Buffalo. I'm looking at the Bengals. I'm looking at, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking at the
Ravens when they're healthy.
Exactly. A healthy Ravens team. We're not as talented as this team. We're not gonna beat these teams with in a talent on talent. We gotta force 3 turnovers. We gotta, you know what I'm saying? We gotta play above our means to beat this team. You know what I'm saying? That's not how you win in the playoffs. You gotta be the better team on the field when you play this team. You know what I'm saying? I should be able to win this, man. When I play this team 10 times, I should be able to win at least 6. You know what I'm saying? 6 at a time. And I feel like when the Tennessee Titans get to the playoff, they'll play a team that they'll only beat twice if they played each other 10 times. And that you're not gonna do nothing in the playoffs like that. You know what I'm saying? I look at, and then we ain't got no cap room And it's like I'm like we can't even upgrade this roster. You get what I'm saying? We have a above average roster with we have a above what in the world? We got an above average roster with barely any cap room. And you look at any other team that barely has any cap room, they roster is stacked. You get what I'm saying? Like, and it's like he's not, like I said, he's not getting us over the hump, and that's what's making me mad.
Facts.
I agree. So like, do y'all think like all of this like so? How can I say this? Like, a wide receiver, like I need like a blocking wide receiver. I want like run first, like all this type of stuff. Is this on Robinson or on Vrabel? Like
let me get that one right there.
Now go ahead.
I think it's both of them.
Yeah,
I honestly think it's both of them because Jon Robinson has this love for
blocking receivers,
players,
big physical receivers.
Yeah, because he's a former old lineman himself. And
for real?
Vrabel,
yeah,
crazy, right?
Right. He don't look like it. He lost a lot of weight, but he don't look like it. Though.
And you already know Vrabel or whatever. I mean, he's as old school as it can get. I mean, play defense, run the football. He want all 11 guys being physical. I mean, even the quarterback at times. I mean, if it's something that you need to do that's gone, help us get a first down or a touchdown, you better fucking do it.
Yeah. See, I think it's on Jon there, and I think that's what we're kind of seeing now when we're starting to read the tea leaves between everything, right? Like we've been kind of feeling like Vrabel's been feeling some type of way since the AJ Brown situation, right? Like let's not forget, in February they extended Vrabel and Jon Robinson for a multi-year deals. Here's 10 months later, we're letting Robinson go. What's the difference between now and February? The AJ Brown trade. It's like that's not the only thing that's happened. Like other things have led up to that, but that's the straw that broke the camel's back. Like we had somebody that should have stuck around, and you let them walk out. And not only walk out, what we're hearing in reports, you didn't even tell the owner. And Vrabel was very clear, very vocal that he did not want this to happen, and you still made it happen. That's all on you. And we hear, if you start reading how Vrabel talks to some of these media days, that like you can tell that he was like, yeah, these blocking wide receivers are good, but we need guys that can run routes. We need guys that can catch the ball. He said we need guys that are actual receivers as well. Like you could tell Vrabel was trying to make pleas the only way he knew how was by politically answering questions in media day. And like it finally I think it's clicking. That's what I think Amy's talking about. Vrabel's going to have a little more control, a little more say so. I think she's going to go listen to him more and be like, okay, you do know what this team actually needs. And I'm going to start listening to you a little bit more rather than, the GM that came in a couple years ahead of you. I understand now. I should have been listening to you. I'll start listening to you a little bit more. But I don't think they're going to throw him at GM. I don't really think he has an interest of being a GM and a coach.
Yeah, I'm legit concerned about that.
That's too much on your plate. Yeah,
I don't think he's going to play.
That shit didn't work for O'Brien.
Yeah,
was that his name at Texas?
Neither is it right now working for Bill Belichick. You get what I'm saying? He wanted to let Brady go, and you see where they at. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's all about that quarterback, man. I mean, coaches. I mean, coaching matters. I always say that. But, when you got that dude at quarterback, that changes a lot. That can mask a lot. You can get away with a lot of things. As soon as you take that quarterback out the mix, pretty much, the house will fall down.
Exactly. And that's the next point I wanted to get to. So after this season, if Ryan Tannehill, once we're done with Ryan Tannehill this season, what do you want to do at quarterback? Do you want to keep Ryan Tannehill, or do you want to move on and try to go out there, Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers or somebody like that?
I think it all depends on my question. I just asked about our game plan. Are we still going to be like a run first, like a Derrick Henry, or try to open the pass game up more like all these other teams did? That's the main focus.
I think from seeing some of the play calls we see happening, that our coaching staff wants to be more creative. They just don't feel like they have the skills on the field as players to be more creative, because we see trick plays almost every single week. There's a trickery. Then there's Derrick Henry and Wildcat. He might run it. He might throw it. Like, there's all these things that they do to be creative. They just don't have all the assets to be as creative as they want to be. Like, they show us glitz and glimmers, and that's where we get frustrated. We're like, why don't they do this all the time? It's like, I think because we don't have the skill set to do this all the time. We got to get the lucky to catch them off guard because they didn't think that we was capable of doing that shit. Like, we used to run fake punts all the time. All the time.
Yeah, I look at it this way. The Titans is gonna do whatever it takes to win. They're probably gonna start every game off with trying to establish a run, and when they figure out it doesn't work, they try to pass the ball. But like I know if we were to have an Aaron Rodgers or a Tom Brady on the team, if a team is weak in the pass, they're gonna come out passing. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I think the Titans just want to win. At this point, like with this move that they made, man, it showed me that they're not gonna settle for mediocrity, man. They want to. They definitely. They've never done it. Let's go ahead and go and try to work hard to go get that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if moving Tannehill is what's gonna get us a Super Bowl, then we're gonna have to make that move. And I feel like that's what what I'm saying. We're not gonna be stuck at.
You move Tannehill, you move Tannehill, then you go where?
That's what I'm saying. Like if you get rid of Tannehill, you better be getting somebody else in that's ready to win a Super Bowl now.
Yeah,
not in a couple of years, because we're in a window right now. Because
this is what
we got to get one while Derrick Henry's here, and Derrick Henry's in a window, so we don't have a couple 3 to 4 years to try to hope somebody comes around. That's going to be the end of Derrick Henry.
You got another 2 years, and that probably puts it right there.
This is what I'd do if I was a Tennessee Titans. I would sit back and wait and watch what Baltimore doing. Look at what Baltimore is doing and see what they're gonna do with Lamar Jackson, because you put Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry on the same team, that's a problem, bro.
I don't see but Baltimore ain't gonna let him walk. They gonna tag him. They ain't letting Lamar walk.
He ain't going for no tag, bro.
He ain't going for that tag, bro. It's time. It's time to go throw him that bag, bro.
Then what? He's just going to sit out that year. Like, I mean, how do you know what I'm saying? Once they tag you, you're almost done.
I want to get Baltimore back.
Let me say this. I mean, you bring up Lamar Jackson, and I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I had that thought earlier or whatever, but
that would be tough. What an RPO? Ooh,
it would be, but
everything, bro.
When you get into the playoff games or whatever, teams is gonna lock in on stopping their run.
That's gonna be
that run gets stopped. Lamar gonna be able to sling the ball around enough to where we win these games.
Lamar is a better passer than people give him credit for, but just like any quarterback, you got to give them wide receivers that can run a proper route and get open. Like, they can't put a ball in a 2% window all the time, and you expect these wide receivers to come down with the balls and not incompletions and interceptions. Like he's a better passer than people give him credit for. Yeah, he makes mistakes. He's not a perfect passer. He still has things he needs to polish up, but who's a wide receiver he really has at Baltimore?
Yeah.
You got a point there. You got a point.
But I look at it like this. We saw what that run game looked like when Malik Willis was out there. They had to choose. You get what I'm saying? You get Lamar Jackson, and you say we got Malik sitting behind Lamar. You get what I'm saying? We already building the offense for Malik in the future. You get what I'm saying? We can, once we done with Lamar, we can just, we got Malik Willis. You get what I'm saying? He do the same thing he do. You know what I'm saying? Doing basically what Baltimore doing. I really don't think they're gonna pay him, man. They got Tyler Huntley doing the same thing that Lamar Jackson doing, even though he's not the same effort. You know what I'm saying?
There's no cap though. Yep. I
think John's in too much love with Lamar to let him go.
You think so?
I think so. Like, I think
injury did it.
I think it and that could be a factor. Now, if there's an injury and something like that, then I don't think so. But if Lamar is still capable of being Lamar, I believe John would truly go in there and be like, no, I I put my coaching job on the line for this. This ain't gonna happen. No, if you trade him, you might as well fire me too. Like I could see John being that so involved with Lamar. Not saying he would do that per se, but have that much of a feel for it. So I don't see them letting go of Lamar. It'd be nice. I would love it. I would absolutely love it. But I just don't.
No,
I would think they'd be stupid.
Crazy.
That'd be the equivalent of letting AJ Brown go, bro. That's
really nasty.
Really, it would be worse
nasty,
than that because I mean the guy won MVP. I mean, you gonna let a whole MVP go out the building like that just because of the style of quarterback that he plays? I mean, it's effective. I can't lie about that. It's effective now. You know, his passing game, I mean,
Is it better than Tannehill, though?
You know, overall, it's effective. It's kept the Ravens in the playoff mix or whatever. I mean, they would be crazy to let him go like that.
Better than Tannehill.
Say what?
Oh no, I don't know. Because Tannehill can throw, bro.
Tannehill can throw.
If he on, bro, he's on.
I don't feel like we've got to see a full Ryan Tannehill potential at Titans. Like if you got him a wide receiver for a couple of years that he actually knows how you're going to play and how you're going to run a route, that he'll finally have that understanding and chemistry with, I think we would see a whole different Tannehill. Like he's putting balls in spots with people he has barely any chemistry with. Traylon Burks ain't been out there how long, and he's putting the ball on the spot for him. That's no chemistry. Yeah. So I think I don't think we've got to see the full potential, but man, it's hard. They both are good passers. They're very close within each other for what I do have to grade them on. But I think I want to be biased to say I think Tannehill is because like I feel like he could be better. But from what we have to see, like Lamar's the better passer.
Yeah, I want to see what Lamar would do with Chig Okonkwo because he loves tight ends. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, he loves Mark Andrews.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He loves his tight ends.
I think it boils down to who can make that big play whenever is needed. And I would say Lamar would do that before Tannehill because of his legs. I mean, I hate to, be, cliche with it or whatever, but I mean, the guy's leg is a threat. I mean, you can't sit up there and ignore that. And if a defender comes off the edge and he doesn't contain it, I mean, Lamar gone. I mean, if those cornerbacks, if they in man or whatever, and Lamar sees open, he's gonna go.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, I think Lamar can make that play when it comes down to it versus Tannehill. You know how Tannehill, I mean, he can run, but he ain't running like Lamar.
Yeah, he ain't running like Lamar.
Tannehill will have to throw the ball, and it could go either.
It's crazy though because Ryan Tannehill and Lamar Jackson be having similar stats. If you go look at the stats of Lamar and the stats of Ryan Tannehill, they've had similar stats in their whole career. Like, which is crazy though. Like, I was reading. They showed us. They was like, these are two quarterback stats, and they said, guess what quarterback you got? And it was Ryan Tannehill, Lamar, and like I'm like, how does he have the same number? Like, that's weird.
And we say all this about Tannehill, but let's realize like. Tannehill is about to break all our franchise records and lead our franchise as one of the most winningest quarterbacks for our franchise. Like, and that's over Steve McNair. He's breaking McNair's records and even having better passer ratings than what McNair was having back in the day. So, like, I think some of the things he does gets lost because of there's things that look bad and it always reflects back on the quarterback. But if we go back and look over those film, you look like wide receivers aren't open. They half-ass running routes. They're not running under defenders, but they're running behind defenders. You know what I'm saying? Like they're running flat on routes when they should be cutting back at an angle on some routes. Like those wide receivers sometimes just ain't doing things, and you just don't have that chemistry. So I think if we got some better wide receivers and people that stuck around, we'd see a better Tannehill on that field.
Yeah.
And I gotta say this too. I really want to add on to what you just said, Firestone. I'm gonna keep it a buck. people just straight up hate Ryan Tannehill just because of what they saw out of him in Miami and what he done in that playoff game against the Bengals. I mean, that did it for a lot. I mean, some of them was even on them about Kansas City when we made the AFC championship game, and of course at home with the Ravens when
that wasn't his fault.
Interception to lose the game. I mean, people just hate the guy for whatever reason. They hate the guy. I mean, I can't knock him. I mean, he's a starting caliber quarterback in the league. I mean, just like you said, I mean, he's about to break some of these records that Steve McNair got up there. So, I mean, you got to give the guy credit, but at the same time, I mean, we finna have to make a real big decision.
Yeah, we're going to make a decision on sure. Even though I feel like he's playing good, he's not a bad quarterback. He's doing his job. You know what I'm saying? He's doing whatever it can, whatever the coaches ask him to do. And I feel like that's the problem. You got what I'm saying? He's not. That's all he is. He's just a yes man, just like Mariota. Like, you know what I'm saying? He just did everything the coach told him to do. The coach told him to throw it over here. He throwing it over there. You know what I'm saying? And,
he's not elite.
We ain't got no playmaker, man. Like, we ain't got nobody that can just make a play out of nothing. You know what I'm saying? And Lamar Jackson does that. You get what I'm saying? And if the Ravens don't pay him, you better be the first person in line to go get that dude, man. Because him and Derrick Henry will be a problem. I'm telling you.
Nah, that would be tough, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That would be crazy.
But
that would be crazy, bro.
I think it's weird, man. Everybody, when they talk about Tannehill, it almost sounds like they talking about Zach Wilson from the Jets or something. Like, he's just out here just that. It's like he don't put us in bad situations. Like he did once. He did once. All right? Like in that playoff game, he put us in a bad situation, but that's very rare. How many other times has he really done that? Does anybody can think of many that like he truly put us in a bad, desperate situation that we was like, man, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. And only two of those was his fault, man. That third, that one in the middle, you can't even blame that one on him. Like that Mike Hilton made a hell of a play, and it's like the Bengals, man. They just got us figured out, bro. Like, I'm gonna be real. Like, they be blitzing Mike Hilton, and he does damage, bro. Like, he does damage.
Bengals got a good secondary. And we don't have nothing to compete with that. So when you can sit there and be like, we don't respect your receivers, fuck it, we'll man. Or we could even zone. We could even small zone certain things for you. And then we're just going to blitz and load the box and watch the run because we know that your receivers aren't going to get open. So if you do throw it to them, they're going to have to make a spectacular catch to get that ball because we don't fear them as a threat as a route runner.
Yeah, they D-line beefed up like hell too, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they D-line is
they got a defense. They defense. That's why I told people, I was like, bro, they're gonna beat the Chiefs because the Chiefs to me ain't got no defense. The Chiefs ain't got no defense, bro. Like, hey, they are all Mahomes and Kelsey. You know what I'm saying? If they don't dominate the game, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna lose. You know, they defense not gonna win them no game.
They just beat them again this past Sunday. I mean. They beat us, and they went beat the Chiefs again, just like last year in the playoffs.
Yeah, that defense not stopping. That defense ain't stopping Burrow. It ain't gonna stop Josh Allen. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna stop Lamar. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't even stopping Derrick Henry. Like, Derrick Henry had 100+ yards on them. Like, that defense not winning no Super Bowl, bro.
But hey, I know that like when it comes to playoff times, though, most of the time, and I can't remember what the actual stat is but if you played a team in regular season and lost to them more times than not, you wind up beating them the second time in the playoffs. So we got that ahead of us looking because what Bills and Chiefs done got us. So if we see either one of them, you know. I know that like the playoff game is now our revenge game, and they like the whole atmosphere kind of changes. They have everything to lose, and we have a lot to prove. So that atmosphere will change for us in playoff time. So I was happy to see them lose.
I got a question for y'all. Who do y'all want to see in the first round? Who y'all want to see at home in the first round?
Man, who is?
Bring on whoever. Because at the end of the day, it's the playoffs. Everybody trying to win a Super Bowl, and you're going to get everybody's best. So whoever we get, be ready to beat them.
It might be a team from the AFC North or
Yeah.
or
I feel like we're gonna get the Ravens again, man. We always run into them boys. It never fails.
If the playoffs started today, it's Bills at the number one.
They got Lamar hurt right now, so I think Lamar out for like 3 weeks.
1 to 3 weeks.
It's either gonna be the Ravens or the Dolphins. I'm calling it now. It's gonna be the Ravens or the Dolphins. Ravens or the Dolphins. We're gonna see either one of them two.
And we get them at home, right?
Yeah, get them at home. Yeah. We get an automatic home game because we won our division.
Yeah, it's most likely going to be Ravens, Bengals, or Dolphins.
Ravens better than I do against the Dolphins because of the simple fact that the Dolphins are kind of like the Bengals to where, you know, they got 2 legit receivers. You know, the Dolphins' whole thing is you ain't going to outrun these receivers we got.
Yeah, but you got to have 2.
Be able to keep up with them.
That's but though. They got 2 small receivers. The Bengals got 2 big.
Yeah.
So you feel me? So
but Miami got 2 really fast. But the thing with Miami though is you ain't got it. Well, no. See, Miami. The trick is you ain't got to be as fast as those DB or as those wide receivers. Your D line just has to get to the to get to the quarterback before they have time to actually get to the break of their points. Get a rush within that 2.5 seconds. It don't matter how fast those wide receivers are. He ain't gonna have time to throw to them.
So talk to me about the Dolphins' offensive line.
Yeah, I don't know what I haven't really watched too much of the Dolphins.
I watched them with the Dolphins.
They don't put them on prime time.
Not much, no. So I don't know.
I think they play Sunday though.
They play prime time Sunday.
Yeah, play the Chargers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'd be a lot of.
I'll watch them Sunday.
Yeah, I'm most of the time watching Red Zone, so I'm jumping between game and game.
We gotta see what the Chargers look
like.
Man,
because I mean, if they got a decent offensive line, I mean, we've got to have Autry back because I mean, right now, Jeffrey Simmons out there, he's playing hurt. We can't get any pressure.
Yeah,
these DBs we got, I mean, they getting worked on, and that's me putting it nicely. They getting worked on. I mean, it's just all bad right now with this team.
We'll just go back and look at that Eagles game, bro. I watched multiple times, bro. Roger McCray was getting cooked, and Christian Fall was getting cooked. I'm like, dog, that Trey Avery was getting cooked, bro. I'm like, bro, we just don't have the corners to even keep up with these receivers they got, bro. Like, it's simple as that. Like I've seen Devontae Smith put a stupid route on Roger McCray, bro. Like, golly.
They're too young and don't have much game time. That's the problem with our DBs. We don't have nobody in the veteran. Like Kevin Byard can only do so much.
And see, that's what what I was saying earlier. Like that's the way that the Eagles got their roster set up. That's how we supposed to have our roster set up, bro. Like they can beat you running or passing. They can get to the quarterback. They can stop you from passing. You get what I'm saying?
And really, the Eagles got like 2 number ones.
Yeah, they're good at everything. There's one. They don't have a flaw in their team.
Yeah, I saw that we were playing a lot of man against the Eagles as well, which
at first
got me scratching my head. Like, you gonna sit up here and try to play these receivers man for man, knowing they got Jalen Hurts who will take off running faster than you can blink or whatever. Yeah, I mean, I was expecting them to zone it out, keep them eyes on Jalen. All eyes on Jalen.
Think about our DB set, right? And that makes sense and everything. But think about our DBs. When we put them in zone, they leave holes. Bad holes. And they will see those easily. So it's like you got to pick the battles of what or what. So at the end of the day, I think Vrabel was like, Kiss, keep it simple, stupid. You watch your man and guard him. All right. Look, we're not going to zone it out there for y'all to make mental errors. Just try your best to spot the man, and hey, if Jalen runs, run after him. Go get him. But I'm with you. That's the game plan I would have had. But it's like every time I think of strategies, like why aren't they doing this? I go back to like our roster. I just don't think they have the belief in our roster to trust them to make those decisions in those situations.
We don't. We the way the game started, bro. It just looked like we was outgunned, bro. Like and they went right. They got about 12 false starts, bro. They converted all
And
of them.
still,
Bro,
once
Burks went down, it was like
the
whole game changed.
Our only hope was Burks, and he went down. I'm like, yeah, man. Like Burks, the only one I would have kept was in the game.
Burks, and we were really missing Cody Hollister.
And Jeff Swain.
Right.
Jeff Swain, man.
Oh my God.
He said we missing Cody.
Oh shit.
Oh my God.
Jay, bro. And Cody.
Man.
And Mason Kinsey.
Right. Which we ain't even good, God. Just go ahead and release the dude already, man.
Bro, we about to see a lot of
things. The
only
reason I don't say that with Phillips is because he's a rookie, but he looks like he's walking down that path as well.
Yeah,
I hope not.
Mason Kinsey,
I hope not, cause he got some nice. His footwork nasty, but he
yes, it is. But you got to stay on the field.
Yeah, he's small. He tiny, bro. He probably like 170. They ain't gonna last, boy. Them boys gonna hit you.
But I was surprised they put him back there at punt return. It's like, I got it. He got some footwork and he can make something happen. But you're gonna get him killed. He is tiny.
Yeah, I agree with that.
No lie, at the Giants game, every time he got hit, I cringed.
Smacking his head.
He just, when you watching games or whatever, it's the dudes out there who you just look at like, God, I know he's going to get injured at some point. I mean, you pray that they don't get injured, but you just know by looking at their frame and looking at the hits they're taking, it's going to come. That's what I see in Kyle Phillips. Like, every time he gets hit, I think that's it. He's gone.
Yeah. That boy got to get on that weight room and get on a meal plan or something. But I'm pretty sure that
he way too small. Yeah, he way too small. And I look at it like this though, like why Jon Robinson like big body wide receivers, like what did he see in Kyle Phillips? You know what I'm saying? Like he saw the route running, but he ain't gonna make no tackles. Like
Julian Edelman, that's what he saw.
He ain't breaking no tackles because he ain't that fast.
He likes that style. Cause that's what he did, like in that he likes that little slot, he still likes that small, receiver. Like Tavon Austin type of slot. Like he even had that at Tampa Bay. I think not Scotty, but I can't remember who he had at Tampa Bay that he had that was slot. And then he came as soon as he came here. Who did we have first that he brought in for us?
Adam Humphries.
Adam Humphries, exactly. Yes, like he likes them small little slot guys that'll go out there, but they like. It's not there ain't no Danny Amendolas no more that can take that shit. Yeah, exactly. They don't make them like that all the time. They go out there and they get hurt. But he's stuck on that. He likes that style of player. He likes
Danny was taking them hits. It was working. They were taking them hits.
But man, he had muscle though. Like he was small, but he was, he was ripped. But man,
I look at it like this though. Like, so hold on. We'll go to the next topic. They said, do you feel like the Tennessee Titans are headed in the right direction?
I want to see like if we have like a different like approach now. Mm-hmm. Like I want to see like I'm not gonna say everything is gonna change, but I know like some moves is gonna happen. They practice like tomorrow, right?
They practice tomorrow. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They were talking about. Then they said Racy might come back like this week, and Kyle Phillips he's still on IR. So I just want to see like I just want to see like how our team look. It's not. I want to say like more of our team. Offense wise, really, because I know we were getting from our defense, but at some point the offense got to step their game up. That's the only. Because man, Henry, that man is in a drought. He's in a drought, man. Like last pass.
I mean, we already see now we're not gonna be able to run the ball on a good team. Now with this line is so bad. Like And I like I said, when I ask like, are we heading in the right direction? I mean, just as a franchise, like, are we gonna make the necessary moves that we need to get us over this hump that we keep getting in these playoffs? Because like we get to the playoffs and it's like we run into that team and we can't beat them. You know what I'm saying? We run to the team that everybody's scared of and we can't beat them, or we just go there and we get waxed quickly. You know, get put out quickly.
Yeah. Like
I really can't answer that question right now because I mean, we don't know what the future holds. I mean, what I will say is I believe that, you know, we made a sound decision by firing Jon Robinson because, I mean, it's obvious the holes was there. I mean, the structure of the team, I mean, you look at the offensive line, you look at the receivers, I mean, even with the secondary outside of the safeties. I mean, you just look at everything that's going wrong right now. I mean, you got to look at Jon Robinson, whether he just all out, you know, didn't give enough attention to that position, or, you know, he just wasn't at the position at all. I mean, he just wasn't good at the position at all. You got to look at Jon Robinson for all that, and they held him accountable. Now, the question is, what are you going to do about replacing him? Because, I mean, this GM has got to come in and be ready to roll. I mean, the fan base, the front office, the coaching staff, we trying to win a Super Bowl. I mean, we can't afford to bring a GM in here that's, you know, got to learn on the fly. No, we got to bring somebody in that's experienced and ready to roll. So if they do that right there, I feel like we can, you know, get back on track.
Yeah. And I look at it like this though, like the GM that I do want a young GM. I want a young GM that's about the new style of winning, man. Like I want to look like the Bengals. I want to look like, I ain't gonna say
the Chiefs, the Bills.
I want to look like the Bills. You get what I'm saying? I want my roster to look like that. I want to be able to get on. I want people to play with my team on Madden. You get what I'm saying? That's the problem. Like I promise you, boy. I play Madden. I play online. And Tennessee, no one picks the Tennessee Titans with me. Like, that's it.
I ain't about using the Titans, bro. I ain't about using us, bro. I said, everybody using us.
Online play. The only people that go pick somebody from the Titans, that pick the Titans, is somebody from Nashville. They're gonna be from Tennessee. Hey, other than that, all I'm seeing is the Bills, the Chiefs, the Eagles, the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? They picking the stacked rosters. You get what I'm saying? Ain't nobody. We're not one of them teams, bro. You know what I'm saying? We're not one of them teams, bro. You know what I'm saying? I want to be one of them teams. I want people to, oh, yeah, man, you picked the Titans, but I'm quitting. That's exactly what I want people to say. You know what I'm saying? Well, I picked the Titans. I want it to be like LeBron James when he was on the Heat. Yeah, I want to be KD on the Warriors. You know what I'm saying? That's how I want to be. I want people to hate us. Like, don't nobody hate us. They hear the Titans, they're like, oh, yeah, we're going to get a W. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what they do when they see our team on Madden.
Yeah.
Hey.
I'll say that, like, I don't know how to. I'm kind of with you here, Taylor. Like, I'm in a position where, like, I don't know how I truly feel because, like, at the time, I understand because it was accountability to me. That's what I feel like the big word here is. It's just accountability of what he was doing overall and handling situations. So, but also I don't feel a sense of panic. I don't feel like this is a panic situation. Oh, we done fucked up. What are we going to do this? I feel like, okay, this is good. I understand, but what's next? Like we do have a small window. We do need to figure out something. I'm with you. We need somebody that is kind of young, but not real young. But, you know, understanding what, like the Sean McVays of this game, like in that era of, well, Sean McVay's still kind of young, but he's head coach wise. But those types of people that understand that you got to be creative out here, that this game is evolving and is willing to evolve with the game for the betterment of our franchise as well. So that's what I want to see. And I want to see somebody that's willing to come in and listen to Vrabel and actually understand what players he wants. Because I believe if you actually get Vrabel the style of players he wants for consecutive years, you will see a dominant force that you would not believe Tennessee would ever be capable of being, because he's making us a dominant force in the AFC with a team that he's truly not happy and satisfied with, to pull off the playbook and the game plans that he wants to pull off to show off his coaching expertise. And yet he's still out here winning games. He's still out here coach of the year. He's still playing with the most players on a franchise and about to do it again for the second year in a row, and still winning records, still getting to the playoffs, still winning the AFC South. So just imagine what he would be capable of doing if you actually got him a roster that he wants and his style of players. So I'm optimistic, but who we hire as GM is going to say a lot for the next, like our next few years, at least our Derrick Henry tenure. So this next dude's going to be here until Derrick Henry retires, I believe, or at least going to cost us that time frame. Like, we got to get this right because the Derrick Henry window is closing.
Do you feel like the Tennessee Titans should go to a more passing style? Or can we get away from the run first mentality on everybody?
No, because you run opens up everything else, right? The run is time management of the game, which keeps the other offense off the fields that are so threat, right? It also opens up the play action. It opens up the deep throws. But if that don't work, then yes, you need to be able to rely on a reliable passing game. It can't just be run. But yeah, you can still need to use the run to open up the rest of the game plan. And that also helps open up your trickery, because that's what helps Henry throw all these touchdown passes or throw these balls like he's able to throw, because they respect his run so much that they're biting on that, forgetting like, oh, damn, this dude just does throw occasionally in these situations. And so, yeah, I want to still run, but it doesn't have to be our whole identity. It can just be the starting process of the layers of our identity.
Yeah. I do think that we were one-dimensional, man. Like we feel like we just run the ball 30 times with Derrick Henry, and we're gonna pass it enough to just so we can keep running the ball. Like, no, I want to be able to, when they're running game, I want to be able to know people know that, okay, we got to respect their passing game. They got two receivers that we respect. They got and they got this darn running back that we can't just key in on. You get what I'm saying? So because the receivers are good.
And the tight end they got Chig, he's a weapon.
Yep. And that's what we had with AJ, right? They couldn't load the box when we had AJ. Like, Julio didn't step up and be what we thought Julio would be, but at least AJ out there, you couldn't load the box. You had to put two men on him. Maybe one's guarding, but you had to have somebody else shadow over top. You had to, and that was opened up our run game a lot too. They don't respect our wide receivers, so they can stack the box better than they've really ever been able to. Because I think, Traylon's out all the time, so this is one of the worst wide receivers cores we've had in Vrabel's tenured here. Like, this is a bad wide receiver core. We don't have nobody. So and Traylon can't stay on the field, but if he does, man, he makes spectacular plays when he's there. I hope he comes back healthy quick after this last play and that beautiful catch. But we need you to stay on the field, bro.
I mean, I wouldn't say he can't stay on the field, but I know what you're saying.
Right, because like that hit's different.
Yeah, but,
right.
But at least it's not like a leg, something like arm or something like a shoulder, like a little concussion. Yeah, I think he'll be back though. But I don't know though, concussion. You know what I mean? They take that stuff serious. So
it's just he's not getting chemistry with Tannehill. And that's the thing. Is like, we're starting to get to the later months of the season. We're starting to get the playoff time. I wanted you to have some more chemistry with Tannehill at this point. Like, I have no doubt he's going to be a great player, and I'm not worried about that. But it's like this chemistry is getting to a point, because like he makes good throws, but now once playoff comes and pressure hits, because we're playing a great defense every single week, that chemistry is where things usually make a change for you.
To me, it's all about balance. You got to be able to run the ball when you need to run the ball, and you got to be able to pass when you need to pass. We can't pass when we need to pass, and for the last couple of games, we can't even run the ball. So,
Facts.
The way I think we should go about things going forward is to get players in here. And it's gonna have to start with the O-line. Whether people want to hear it or not, it's gotta start with the O-line, because the game is won and lost in the trenches. You've got to get some versatile O-linemen in here that can honestly They're going to have to be able to be dominant doing one thing and average doing the other, whether that's passing the ball or running the ball. It just depends on which direction they want to go with it. But if you're asking me, we can be run first, just got to switch up the tendencies. I mean, you can't keep running Cody Hollister, Swain, Derrick Henry, and trying to deceive somebody. I mean, they You see those three, you already know what time it is. When you see Robert Woods,
anybody know that?
Traylon Burke, when you see NWI, you know we finna try to pass the ball. That right there can't happen going forward. You need to get players in here that can play their position, and you need to keep them on the field no matter what. If they ain't good at their primary position, get them out of here.
But the thing about it is, though, I feel like our receivers, the one that you just named, they all can block and catch, though. I don't know why you take them off the field, though, because that's not rocket science, man. Defense,
they good enough blockers. I mean, I don't understand they love fest with Cody Hollister or Jeff Swain. I mean, I hear people tell me about, Cody Hollister's blocking and Swain's blocking.
I don't care about that, bro.
Swain is a tight end. Hollister is a wide receiver. I mean, tight end, has to be able to block and catch the ball. But in today's league, a tight end is pretty much another pass catcher. So they are better blockers than they are pass catchers. That ain't how it's supposed to be.
I don't have a problem with us having Swain. I just have a problem when he's on offense out there and play, knowing that we got Chig and we got Austin Hooper out there. Like, I get it. Like, it's like, okay, special teams. Let's keep him around for special teams. That's cool. Field goals, punts, blockings, all those. Let's keep him around for that. But why are we constantly trying to figure out ways to get him involved in the offense when, like, he's to me just a primary blocker? He's not really an offensive threat as a playmaker.
Right. I got a problem with it. I ain't finna sit up here in front. I got a legit problem with it. As long as he's on this roster, him and Cody Hollister, they gonna keep on running him out there. You know what pissed me off the most this year is I forget what game it was I was watching, and they introduced those two in the starting lineup. I said, that right there just straight up pitiful. I mean, these two, on anybody else's team, they probably on the practice squad or whatever. Here we go. They sitting up in our starting lineup like they finna go out there and make some game-changing plays.
Tell Pruitt. I
agree with TJ.
They should have kept him.
Right. Pruitt was legit.
I'll take Pruitt over there Jeff Swain, though, bro.
Yeah.
Pruitt was legit, man. He was a decent pass catcher. I think they let Pruitt go because maybe his health and, his blocking. He wasn't just the best blocker, but
I don't know.
I'm so over this blocking fascination with them. I really don't. I hate to say I don't care about blocking when it comes to wide receivers and tight ends because I respect it. You got to do the dirty work. But with this team, I'm so daggone tired of blocking. It's driving me crazy.
Bro, I hated that with Robinson, and I truly believe like wide receiver blocking thing is just a heart thing. And it's just sometimes it even depends on who's the running back there. We've seen this. Some wide receivers are like, well, they block better for this team than another team. Well, because they have more faith that this running back might actually run to their side and might actually make it past 3 yards, that they might actually need to hold this block for a long time because this running back is dangerous enough to break open, where they're like, this dude ain't going to get it. So they half-ass block sometimes. But if you got Derrick Henry in the backfield, how do you not go out there and block, even if you're not known as a blocking wide receiver? Because you know that can break for 70, 80 yards at a time. Like, you're going to go out there and block. So if he has a dog in him and he has heart, if you got Derrick Henry running behind him, I believe he'll block even if he wasn't a blocking wide receiver.
Everybody gonna lay it on the line for Derrick Henry. I mean, sure, look at Mariota. Mariota was out there flatlining dudes for Derrick Henry.
I just feel so bad, bro. This offensive line is so trash. This is by far one of the worst offensive lines I've ever seen in the NFL, bro.
God,
this just as bad as that Houston offensive line that sacked like Derek Carr. What is Derek Carr, brother? David Carr?
David, yeah.
Like,
bro.
You can't tell me there's not a better left tackle than Dennis Daly, even on somebody's practice squad, bro. Bro, this dude is trash.
He knows the system though. He's familiar. But it is funny that a team that
I'm tired of that too.
I am too. I am so tired of it too. But it is funny that a team that's so heavy on run block has one of the worst offensive lines in the damn league right now. But we're so hell bent on wide receivers blocking, but the O line can't block.
We're winning with this line. That's what we have a winning record with this garbage offensive line, bro. I don't understand it.
I think there's only like one true starter on this offensive line right now. Anyway,
and Ben Jones.
Nate will too. So
Nate Davis, Ben Jones. I give Nicholas Petit Ferreira credit for that. I mean, I think he's a legit starter. I mean, he's a rookie. He's still learning, but he definitely holding it down better than those two on the left side. Those two on the left side ain't got no business. They just like Swaim and Hollister. They ain't got no business on anybody's roster.
Like,
and they traded a fifth-round pick for Bailey.
I ain't gonna say that much.
That fifth-round pick, if they would have kept it and drafted a left tackle, I put money on it. He probably would have been better than Daly.
I don't get it, man. I don't get it, bro. I don't understand what they see. I don't see what they see in Dennis Daly. He is trash. That dude, bro, he get beat every week.
And to bring up another
JROB fault. JROB pick.
I was just about to bring up another JROB problem too. Why did Saffold go? Why Roger Saffold lead? Like, did we?
He's healthy this year, man.
Didn't want to pay him. Didn't want to pay him because of injuries. I think they said he was dealing with some kind of nerve damage or whatever. Yeah. In which, here's my thing: I don't have a problem with them trading or releasing whoever, as long as you know who you're going to get to replace them. They just be sending dudes out and saying next man up, and the next man up is Brewer, who's on the sides. The next man up is Daly.
I don't know. I don't get what JROB saw and Dennis Daly and Brewer, man. Like, this man Brewer, this dude 215 pounds, bro, and playing offensive guard, bro. He ain't no big. Derrick Henry bigger than this dude.
They be taking turns getting tossed. It's like, okay, so if Daly holds it down over there in left tackle, Brewer will get whooped so bad that it affects Daly, and vice versa. I mean, that has happened multiple times with them two in the game. I mean, I forget what game it was or whatever, but Brewer was actually, doing a good job containing his men until, I want to say it's the Bengals game, until Daly gets pushed back into Brewer.
Yeah.
Casualty of his own man.
The whole thing just blew up right there. I'm like, dude, can y'all just do y'all job to the least?
I don't understand it, bro. I don't understand
the least bit of the best. I mean, these dudes, they just got off. They take turns getting whooped. I mean, golly.
I mean, you're not lying. I mean, I can't disagree.
You can't tell me we can't find a 300-pound lineman, at least 300 pounds, bro.
You literally just got to get somebody bigger than Brewer, and they'll be better than Brewer.
The problem,
somebody stronger than Brewer.
The problem, why we got small guards is because Robinson was like, oh, well, we run and we want to pull these guards and we need agile guards that can pull and go with the run. It's like, bro, but we still need some big guys that can pass blocking or sit there and take up some space too. Like, we're going to go against some big guys across the field from us that are some heavyweights. We need some bodies up there. Like, not everybody got to be agile and pull guards.
You mean to tell me that Dylan Raiders can't play left tackle? He at least play left tackle better than Dennis Daly.
Yeah,
bro.
right.
That's been the question that people
Right.
been asking. What can't ratings do that Dennis Daly
doing?
can't do? I mean, it's pretty ridiculous at this point or whatever. I mean, they just keep on running Daly up out there. I mean, I can even get a Colts credit. At least they know they got an O-line problem, and they done, tried to, make little adjustments to, keep things afloat. You could get a Broncos credit. They O-line been worse, probably worse than ours. And that's hard to say. But you know what they done? Every week they done tried a new combination of guys to find something that works. What do? We just keep on running Daly out there, running Brewer out there. Our adjustment was move Brewer to center and play left guard. That was our adjustment, right?
Hey, I just popped in my head when you say that. What if Vrabel was running them out on purpose to run them out there to be just so he can be like kind of back at the front office with Amy and be like, you see, like he keeps saying, but you see what we got. I throw them out there and look what they do. He can say all he wants, but look, I throw them out there and this is what they do.
People been saying that. People been saying, Vrabel might have, went up out there Sunday and was like, I'm just finna straight up show everybody, what I deal with.
And we got a special guest in the building, man. We got a Colts fan in here, man.
Oh no!
Oh, we got.
Oh shit!
Man.
Oh man!
Oh, here you come to lick you over there.
He's stepping into the lines, then now.
We got a pony in here.
How y'all doing?
Yeah, you looking over there like a fly just steaming over
Man, we
pile of
good,
shit
man.
ready
What's
just to
going on,
fuck
man?
us
How's
up.
it going, man?
Hey, listen, this is the Birdman hands, okay? It's just like
Man, you better tread lightly up in there.
hey, listen, I ain't got to tread nothing. I ain't got nothing to lose, baby. Okay? Listen,
No, y'all ain't got nothing to
Oh,
lose
yeah.
because y'all done already lost everything.
absolutely,
Hey, man.
absolutely. Hey, listen,
Hey,
Hendon Hooker incoming.
baby. It's welcome to anybody. Anybody can come in here.
Hendon Hooker incoming, okay? That's just
No,
what
man,
it is.
you ain't getting no Will Levis.
Will Levis,
Yeah.
you know what? I'll take Will Levis if we hire on Ben Johnson from Detroit as the head coach next season. Offensive.
OC?
Yep, that's the OC for the Lions. Now, mind you, this is also the Lions team that's currently, I think, they're top 5 in points scored in the league.
Yeah.
They just can't get it together on defense. So, I mean, I'll welcome that. I mean, they beat the Giants, and not a lot of teams have beat the Giants this season,
including us. That's
I didn't say you did. I didn't say you did. You said that, not me.
The Giants is a better team than anybody thought they was going to be this year.
Yeah, man, the Giants is good.
Jones is running on everybody, and nobody saw that dude doing that shit.
Hey, listen. I'm not going to come on here and troll y'all because y'all are going through enough today as it is. There's a lot of emotional.
Oh, we chilling, man.
No, don't do that.
Y'all
We got Trey up in here eating kiwis.
Saturday. Y'all are the ones going through stuff. We good. We making the steps to the right direction.
Don't you dare.
Y'all better go ahead and fire Ballard.
We've been hearing Jon Robinson is the best GM in the AFC South for God knows how long, and now all of a sudden we're okay.
No. That's what I've been saying. How y'all always gonna say when we talk about Titans? Oh, they boring. They don't have no stars. They don't have a roster for this. They can't win a playoff game. They can't. Then y'all come on here and be like, oh, wasn't Jon Robinson the greatest? No, but he didn't. He can't keep nobody around. He can't. Who do we ever double sign? They're like, oh, well, he drafts good, but cool. Well, who does he re-sign back to the team after he drafts them?
So let's also be very, very clear. I've never said anything regarding the actual roster for the Titans. I've said that my objections clearly have been with the Titans is that in certain spots, they have players who, yes, they fit the scheme, but they're not as overall good as some Titans fans may say. So let's just say, for example, the one thing that I always said was, and mind you, I never said Derrick Henry was bad, never said he was trash, never said nothing. I said the only knock on Derrick Henry was always the fact that even in situations where they knew for a fact that Derrick Henry wasn't being as efficient as he was, they still put him out there and had him basically suicide diving for extra yards just to go ahead and keep them in games. Now, you can't go ahead and rely on the passing game the way that you were able to with A.J. Brown in the lineup. So now that you can't rely on the passing game as much, now people are just like, oh, if he can't throw, then we're going to make them, we're going to let them run. We're going to let them run. We're going to continue to stack the box. But you don't have those receivers who are going to be able to go and get past those secondaries the way that they were able to previously with those receivers.
Facts.
So now the offense doesn't look nearly as good as it did before, but we're just supposed to continue to believe that this offense is going to continue to run just because Derrick Henry's a great running back. Teams are now looking for that.
Right. No. That's the thing. Like everybody from the outside always says, oh, well, you're just going to keep running. No, what Tennessee does best that everybody keeps overlooking is Tennessee adapts and overcomes. Tennessee is a gritty team. So it doesn't matter what we need to do week in and week out. We're going to do what we need to do and get that. If that's running Henry, cool. We're going to run Henry. If we need to pass, then damn it, we're going to go out there and try to pass this ball and get it done. But like, yeah, we got to do more. And to that point, I agree with you. Like AJ not being out there and you not having wide receivers you're not scared of, we can just man them up and stack the box. They ain't going to outrun us. We ain't got no fear about that. So everybody's like, oh, well, Henry's washed this year. He's not washed. It's just there's literally no threat on the outside. So defenses can literally hover over a run and not even respect the pass. And it's not a Tannehill issue. It's a wide receiver issues. They know they're not going to get open.
Yeah, I think on the other hand, the thing that's been contradictory is also the fact that Ryan Tannehill was billed, and mind you, I will go back to this again. I will say it with RJ and Morocco because we have had these discussions over the last few years. Back when the Ryan Tannehill versus Pat Mahomes illustration went up, and I said y'all gotta be smoking mayonnaise to be thinking that this is actually something that y'all should be doing. Literally
on the level of Mahomes. I just said his stats would look good. That's all I. His stats.
Man, they took what a bunch. Well, I ain't even gonna say a bunch of casuals, but they took what a couple casuals said, and they made a whole big thing about it, talking about Titans fan think Tannehill better than Mahomes. Nah,
we ain't never said that.
The most logical Titans fans always said that Tannehill was a top 10 quarterback at the time, and you know he had the numbers to prove it. He was a top 10 quarterback at the time. Now, after that, you know, it went downhill.
We ain't gave him much to work with and deal with.
I would still say, though, with the right offensive coordinator and weapons, Tannehill could get back to that 2020 Tannehill. I mean, his skills haven't diminished. No. I mean, he's still making the throws that he's making. He's still running effectively whenever they ask him to run. It's just, you know, with the caliber quarterback Tannehill is, you've got to keep weapons around him. You got to give him an offensive line that can do their jobs because he's not an elite quarterback. Elite quarterbacks can mask up, you know, a bad offensive line. They can mask a poor receiving core or whatever. So that's my thing with Tannehill.
Man, but I like we always say, like it's nothing around him, and we keep being like, well, Tannehill's just bad, but there's not wide receivers that get open, right? Kind of like this year, where everybody's like Henry's bad, but it's like if you have no offensive line to block to set up the run play, then the run's not going to work. If we don't have wide receivers that run the pass routes to get open, there's no way for Tannehill to pass the ball. So it's like we got to get our O-line fixed, and then people will start seeing that Henry runs like he's still running how he's capable of running. Then we need to get some threats on the outside that'll help that as well, and then that'll help make Tannehill look better than he throws. Because, like, yeah, he's not the elites and the Aaron Rodgers and all that, but he's still a damn good quarterback that could get the job done and can still go out there and get a Super Bowl with us if we put the right talent around him. Like, he's capable of doing these things. We just don't surround him with talent and consistent talent. Like, that wide receiver room keeps changing.
But do we feel? But do you also feel like like that whole Julio situation last year kind of led to that because I mean Ryan Tannehill, I think right now, I could be wrong. I think he's either the highest or the second highest paid quarterback in the league because of the fact that you push back that money to make room for Julio. So I mean, do you think that kind of works into that? Because I mean, how are you going to have money if you're paying your quarterback that exorbitant amount for 1 year?
If I'm not mistaken,
crazy contract.
He's only making 19 million this next year, 20 million. Like him and Bud Dupree are going to be making the same this next coming year. And I'll have to double check that and double look again because I'm not exactly right on that on the top of my head. But the average quarterback's making $25-30 million a year right now. Tannehill's nowhere near that. He's not making that type of money. And our like Bud Dupree's going to make 19 million this year. Bud Dupree's going to make 20 million next year. And this dude don't stay on the field or nothing like that. So I think Bud Dupree's one of our first casualties that got to go, and then Zach Cunningham got to go because Tannehill's contract's high, but he's not the highest paid quarterback out there, and he's not hitting.
So actually, the thing is, right now he's 29 million, but the problem is that so he's 29 million this year, but the problem is that carries a dead cap number of 57.4 million.
It came from the restructuring.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, got to keep along too. Yeah,
and it's right. And also on top of that, it's just like, what are you going to do in terms of Jeffrey Simmons because he was a late round pick. So, I mean, it's a lot.
That's the things that also got like Jon Robinson gone is those things. You didn't handle the cap right. Like everybody keeps focusing like he did great draft picks, but he didn't handle the cap right, and he doesn't re-sign players. And what he does in free agency, he doesn't get good deals for everything. Every player he's signed, like DeMarco Murray, I think is the only good free agency pickup we've done under Jon Robinson. Everybody else's came, we paid them, they didn't live up to expectations, and they're done and gone. Like that Julio contract, we're finally off the hooks for it, but like we paid a lot of money for Julio to catch 6 balls.
Capital as well.
Yeah,
yes.
That was a bad deal. He should have known that Julio was getting hurt and doing all that stuff from Atlanta. He should have known that. He should have heard that from other people. But this is where I'm coming at. We talking about Ryan Tannehill not having talent. We talking about, our offensive line being bad. We talking about these deals that all these players we need to cut because their contract is bad. And people ask us why we fired Jon Robinson. You get what I'm saying? Look how much stuff is messed up. You get what I'm saying? There's so much stuff that needs to be improved on. And that's why I said we need to go get a young GM that knows the game from the new way, the new innovative way of being balanced and with these creative passing games. And he, can understand that we got to win that way nowadays. You know.
Yeah, like I said, like somebody that's evolving and willing to evolve with the game and see that it's, where it's going and ready to get there. So I believe with some of our play calling, how we do the trickery, like I said, like I believe that they want to do that. Like I believe that that's what Vrabel wants to do, but we just don't have the talent to do it yet.
Yeah, but I just wanted to come on here and check on you boys' mental health. I just wanted to make sure that everything was going all right.
They give Vrabel more control.
Like Chris,
what time is it? It's 10 o'clock. After we get off stream, I'm probably going straight to sleep.
Yeah,
and it ain't gonna take me nothing but 10 minutes to go to sleep. So I'm cool.
I've been out on JROB since that AJ trade. Since he traded AJ, I haven't put a hype. Jon Robinson, he did this, that, and that other. Like, I like the draft that he had. But other than that, that was it. You know what I'm saying? That's the only time you'll see me say anything good about J-Rob is that I like the draft. That's it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Chris, did you get to see the graphic? Did you get to see the graphic we had that all the names of the draft picks? Pull that up. Draft picks and the free agents we had come and gone under Jon Robinson.
Look at this.
I know. I think you only have you. Damn. Okay. Oh yeah. No. Wait. Hey. By the way, I just gotta let it be known Isaiah Wilson was my favorite. Okay. Gigi Bowser. All right. Yeah. Man. I remember Des Fitzpatrick. He was supposed to be really good. Darrington Evans. I actually follow him on Twitter. He's actually pretty cool. So yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. Playing Twitch, and this man playing Madden, bro. Like I'm like. Hey, dude, this dude not even trying to be on our team. Hey.
And listen, streaming is the future. Oh, Dory Jackson, that was another good.
Oh,
man, this list is bad. Like this is bad. I'm just looking at this. It's just like, geez.
Yeah, and everybody's like, well, he's had all these hits in the media, and they're like, it doesn't make sense. It's like if you start reading tea leaves, it makes sense. Like it makes sense.
Caleb Farley is kind of looking like a bust right now, just based on
I hate to hear that, man.
Yeah, I do too, man.
So
I was hyped for him too. It was like, he run a 4.2.
He's a 6'2" corner. He's a 6'3" corner. Okay.
Yeah, he runs a 4.2. What good is that if he can't run a 4.2 on the field? Like it's
or if he can't read schemes.
Right.
Yeah, I remember Cole McDonald, bro.
Oh yeah, Cole McDonald.
Cole McDonald had a farm.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's
what about Brady Breeze? He is
trash.
Yeah,
Brady Breeze, ain't he like 5'8" or something?
Boy, Jonathan Smith fell off so hard, bro. I don't know what happened.
It's the quarterback in that situation, bro. That's the
they said Brady Breeze was supposed to be Caucasian Bob Sanders. I ain't seen none of that yet.
Oh man,
he's supposed to be the little guy lightning in.
You know the Colts got old Bob Sanders Jr. up over there. What's been going on with him? I ain't seen it all yet. What's going on?
Quiet over there. He's quiet.
He's had pretty good games. The only reason why is just because Roddy McLeod has been playing lights out, so he's actually been able to kind of go in, but then he's also mentoring him, so whenever he does get the chance to go ahead and be there, then that's fine. So like I said, in the meantime, he'll be there for a very, very long time, and he's not only that, but he's 20. So I mean, for him, it's just like he's young, so he's going to be able to be developed. But I mean, they know what they have. They just know that he just needs that experience.
Gotcha.
I do like, though, man, he making plays though. I give you that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you know what? I don't want to be that guy. I don't. God. But the thing is, I remember certain Titans fans telling me that Treylon Burks was going to be better than Alec Pierce this year.
He is.
Hey, I mean, as a talent on the field, he is.
As a talent,
Alec Pierce is better. He has more production. But as a player, I'm taking Burks.
There's nothing about Treylon Burks that stands out to me other than his knack for finding a good restaurant wherever he goes and potentially having a mohawk.
Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
Let him play for the Colts, though. He'll be dead. Y'all probably be calling him Reggie Wayne Jr. if he played for the Colts.
You talk about this from a franchise that had T.Y. Hilton. Come on.
Watch us find a way to get Marvin Harrison Jr., bro. Watch what I tell you. We're going to get him. We're going to find a way.
That would hurt y'all.
You want to know what would be crazy about that? In order for you to get Marvin Harrison Jr., you will have to be a top 3 pick, which means that not next year, the year after, because mind you, he's a freshman, which means that he has
sophomore. He's a sophomore.
No, he's a freshman, isn't he?
Okay,
then next year, that means that you're banking on the fact that you're going to have a truly horrible year in order to get wide receiver.
No, or we can be banking for a Seattle Seahawks situation where we trade a player to a team and then they do bad and we do good, and now we're sitting here with a top 5 pick for the year, because that's what Seattle's doing this year. Now, I'm not saying we got to get rid of a quarterback, but they got rid of Russell and Denver's doing horrible. And they got a top 5 pick.
So then tell me this: out of Derrick Henry and Jeffrey Simmons, who are you trading to get that type of deal? Because there's nobody else on that roster.
We just need a good gamble of a situation. And I know, I'm not saying it's easy.
I'm
not saying it's easy at all. But all we need is a quality player that's worth a team that looks like they're a late round pick, that has something that happened to them that just is unexpected, and they tanked that year. Everybody thought Denver was going to be great this year. Nobody thought Denver as being a top 5 draft pick this year, but they go out there, especially when Russell was showing up. Oh, they was like, oh, they're a playoff contender. Kansas City better watch out. It's about to be a hit division. So I'm just saying it's a gamble. It's not easy, but it's doable. It's not the impossible thing.
They said that about the whole entire AFC West, though. They said that the AFC West was going to be the most dominant division, and then the Chiefs. The Chiefs have a three game lead on the next team in second.
Because they look good on paper, but people tend to forget that you got to go out there and actually play on the field, and chemistry has to develop between people too. Some people's chemistry develop faster than others, so
and it's more
you might need a season or two.
Passing. That's all it is. More to football, just passing. You got
everybody
coaching matters,
and everybody was like Carr and
Adams. About the Raiders. Yeah, coaching matters. Josh McDaniels is not a good head coach. He is not head coach material. I don't know where the love fest. I know where the love fest came from. I'm not gonna sit up there and say that it's because New England. He went back to New England, got more Super Bowl rings, and people just feel like, well, he's matured over the course of time. He might have matured, but that don't say he's a good head coach as well.
Some people are just good coordinators.
I ain't gonna lie. I hope they fire him, and I hope that we have a fire child down there and we pick up John McDaniel. That's my offensive coordinator dream right there.
No, hey, let's not forget. He's a cheater. Remember, he was only good when he was cheating, pulling film at Denver, and then as soon as they caught him cheating, he started tanking and not winning games. I think he is just a product of his environment of being around Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. And you can't. There's very rarely a play that you can call wrong with Tom Brady in the damn huddle. You know what I'm saying?
He gets like every other Patriots coordinator, whoever it is. He gets the benefit of the doubt because he was under Bill Belichick. Now, mind you, they don't have the best track record in terms of them being successful. But because Bill Belichick was successful all those years, even now, they're potentially still a playoff team with Mac Jones not necessarily playing as well as he does. And they'll always give that to the credit of Bill Belichick. So, it is what it is.
He's going to coach the Patriots forever.
And see, Vrabel's his most successful coach out of his coaching tree. And he wasn't even a coach. He was just a player underneath him. And he's had the most successful coaching career out of everybody.
Yeah, well, he was one of those guys that was kind of like learning as he was like playing, because even in those years where he just became a special teams guy, he's basically watching Bill, he's studying and doing everything that he's doing. So it's just like he learned to be a coach while not actively being one.
But because that's
what I'll give to him in terms of giving him that credit.
Yeah, because they said even back in the day, like Willie and Ted Bruschi, like they said back in the day, like Belichick even let him run the defensive practices and stuff because Belichick knew that he knew what Belichick wanted, and he would make sure that it was executed and get done. So like, Vrabel will be out there running the defensive practices and shit.
Yep. But you know what? But like I said, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to say, guys, doing a great job. Morocco, thank you for not yelling into the camera. I know it's tough, but
that's all on game days.
Exactly. I wish it was only on days that didn't end with Y, but you know what? You can't get what you want. Hopefully you guys pick up Bill O'Brien as your next GM. And
how dare you curse at us like that? How dare you?
Hey, guess what?
I hope y'all keep Ballard for the next 10 years.
Yeah, boy, we love Ballard.
He's doing a great job with y'all team. Y'all trending upwards. I mean, those quarterbacks y'all brought in.
Go ahead and give Saturday that big contract, man. You know,
right.
Go ahead.
Big signing in the offseason for the Titans will be a gentleman by the name of Shimon Robinson, who just looks like Jon Robinson, just with a mustache. All right. So good luck, guys. Have a great rest of your episode. And this was fun.
All right, man.
Come back anytime, bro.
No problem.
Anytime, man. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Like I said, man, it's always good to have rival fans in here, man. If you a Jaguar, one of the Jaguar mods, the Colt mods, Texan mods will come in here and talk shit.
Yeah, man. It's all love, man. We love the interaction.
You know what it is. I probably get Briggs on this show one day.
I just love it when them other AFC South teams come in here and try to talk like, oh, y'all got turmoil. It's like, nah, we're good. We're still leading the AFC South. We good, y'all. Don't try to beat us down. Y'all stay there.
We better than them.
Right. We
done fired a whole GM up out here and we going to the playoffs. Meanwhile, the Colts done fired a head coach, and they might have messed themselves up out of a high draft pick just because they trying to compete with us.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It'd be cracking me up because they come in here and they just try to talk that mess, and it's like, and we're like, man, but we got the South, and they're like, but we suck, this, that, and they'll throw themselves underneath the bus. It's like, man, I don't care if the division's bad or not. That says more about y'all than us. Y'all need to play catch up.
Yeah, Coach fan been doing a lot of that here lately.
A lot of
we knew we were gonna suck. No, y'all did.
No, everybody thought they were Super Bowl winners this year.
They had them winning the AFC.
We the favorites. Look at who's saying we're going to be the favorites. We're going to sweep Tennessee, and we're going to show them that we're the best team in this division. We're taking it back. No, man.
Everybody in the media
running back in the league.
Right.
Yeah.
That's another thing too, man. Why they sit up there talking about what we've been saying about JROB versus what we saying about him today or whatever. They act like they wasn't going back and forth with us about Ballard. Oh, we got the best GM. We got the best running back. We got the best offensive line. But right now, y'all in like a 8-team battle for a top 3 draft spot. I mean, come on, man. I mean, humble yourselves a little bit, man. It's all good. Every team got to suck at some point.
Bro, they just love it, bro. Misery loves that company, man. They want us to be down there too, so we can be looking like like the Buccaneers in their division over there in NFC. What, West? No, that's not West, is it? Yeah.
The NFC South.
South. Yeah.
They want to tell us that Frank Wright was better than Mike Vrabel. They were like, he got a Super Bowl ring. I'm like, what?
Oh yeah,
Vrabel got 3.
Claiming Frank Wright Super Bowl ring. What?
They were flexing the offensive coordinator Super Bowl ring. Boy, get out of here.
That's the same shit Jazz fans were doing when they got Nick Foles. They just thought, goddamn, hey, bro, now we got a Super Bowl ring. I'm like, bro, don't even do that to y'all.
How do you lose your job to a guy that don't even have a job anymore in the league?
Right.
And you have a Super Bowl ring, and you get all that, and you lost to the guy on a rookie year. That who does he play for now? Anybody know?
Man,
how you lose your job to that? That's like losing your job on your day off, like crazy. Like, how the hell?
Yeah, man, them opposing fans, they some wild, man. But man, like I said, I love the interaction. I mean, it be getting me through a lot of my days just hearing from them or whatever, especially when they get hyped up and believe in stuff that they know that ain't true.
Gaslighting like a motherfucker.
Jaguar fans, boy, yeah, come on to the front, boy, because y'all was talking like, oh yeah, we gonna beat the Titans next week. We watched it, we beat the Lions. They said they were gonna beat the Lions. They got waxed, bro, 40-6.
Bro, I thought Trevor Lawrence was out for the year with that hit and how he got taken down, bro. That looked like he was done. But I don't know.
Yeah, they was talking, bro. They came in with their Super Bowl dreams, bro. Like I'm talking about, they were like, "Yeah, we gonna come back and win the AFC South."
And you remember earlier this year when they got on their little mini winning streak or whatever? All of them they came back and was saying it's looking real 2017ish around. I'm like, y'all done won 2 games in a row, man. Y'all settle down and then they go beat the Ratbird. Yeah. Well, if we can make the moon move, and if we can get the stars down here on the Atlantic Ocean, and we beat Tennessee, we can make the playoffs.
I was like, bro, I was telling my dad.
I'm like, man, these fools really believe they finna win something.
I tell the Jag fans all the time, I'm like, bro, I said, y'all have a better chance of beating us in Duval when we rest our starters, bro. Y'all not beating us in Nashville. We take pride in beating y'all in Nashville. Like, y'all ain't
get a pissed off Tennessee Titans. So they suddenly get shut out next week. I'm gonna just this coming Sunday. They suddenly get shut out. It wouldn't surprise me at all.
They finna get a whole new Titans.
Yeah, they finna get an angry Titans. Like
that's what I'm about to say. Do you think the atmosphere in that locker room changes now?
For sure. Oh yeah.
Because
it
feels like that, AJ gone. Bill Simmons not gonna get signed. Like it looks like everybody was starting to lose faith in the GM about, well, even if we do right, we're not even going to get a second contract. And you think this sparks up like, oh shit, okay, maybe I can go out here and I can actually go get it. Vrabel's in charge. They listen to Vrabel a little bit more. Oh, okay. Yeah. So, like, do you think that's going to give a little extra motivational boost? Like, I know there's not much changes that can happen because we're in the middle of, or towards the end of the season. We can't trade for nobody unless there's somebody truly off a waiver wire we need to go grab. I mean, what is there really going to be a change outside of morale that happens for the team?
I don't know. I think they're going to be on it on Sunday, man. I got to feel it because they know they got to wrap this division up. We beat the Jaguars. I think we wrap this division up. And what I think we should do down the stretch, once we wrap this division up about week 14, you get what I'm saying? We need to go on rest starters, bro. We're not getting rest. We need to go on rest them, bro. We got to get healthy, bro, for these playoffs. We got to be on point.
I just don't like resting.
Yeah,
man, they need it, dude.
They gotta get
it, man. I mean, this thing pretty banged up.
At least let them go play half a game or some part of a game. Don't let them set for a couple of weeks, bro, because then we get into a playoffs and we get rusty. And we're already a team that can't win a first-round playoff. So I'm with you. We do got to help them. We got to figure out how to do maybe a snap count with certain players, but I don't think just hit them in streaks on the side.
I would. I don't know. I'm thinking like maybe we need to get Derrick Henry about 10 carries and get him out of there. Get you know what I'm saying? That Ryan Tannehill a couple throws, put Malik in. Even if we get blown out, you get what I'm saying? Once we wrap this division up, dude, we need to just worry about being healthy for the playoffs. That's what the key goal is, bro. Be healthy.
Tannehill still hurt.
Like the third or fourth seed and the caliber of team we play. I mean, it's gonna be the same. Mm-hmm. I mean, it just boils down to, what type of team you want to play in the wild card round or whatever, in which the team we sudden to play, I mean, I don't know how things gonna play out. I mean, who knows? We may mess around and get the Bengals.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. Like
it ain't gonna be that much of a difference of who we play. I can tell you that.
It's like the way the playoff picture.
It's gonna be a good team. The AFC is stacked from top to bottom. You know what I'm saying? In the playoffs, there's not one bad team in the AFC. There's not one in the AFC playoffs. Like they're all good. Jets, the Bengals, Dolphins. You know what I'm saying? They're all good.
If the playoffs started today, it'd be Bills at 1, Chiefs at 2, Ravens at 3, Titans at 4, Bengals at 5, Dolphins at 6, and Jets at 7.
So we would get the Bengals.
Yes.
Yeah, right now we will. I think the Bengals gonna win that division. So I'm thinking Ravens. Dude. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I got a feeling, man. We always run into them. It never fail.
I'm thinking Ravens.
The winning team always wins those games or wins those games more times than not. So if we got to see the Ravens at home, I'm pretty concerned about that game.
Did they beat us last time?
Nah, we always win at each other's house.
No, I'm saying last time they beat us. I think what was it? It was 2021. I mean, it was 2 years ago. They beat us, right?
They beat us because Mike Breville didn't go for it on 4th and 2. Yeah. I remember that game, bro. Oh, man,
you can say that too. I mean, all the gambling, and then he punted the ball in that situation. I mean, that was the time to gamble.
But that was young Vrabel. That was like what, maybe his first year, second year.
I'm talking about that was like recently, yo. Yeah, that was 2 years.
That was like his third year. I was
there every 2,000-yard year though. Like we, that was the year he ran for 2K. Then we went to the play. Cause remember we had beat Baltimore.
After the Chiefs, right?
We had beat Baltimore in the regular season in OT. Derrick Henry put him away. You know what I'm saying? They were trying to shut him down that game, and then he took off in that fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was a good game.
Played him again. They shut him down at like 20 yards rushing. You know what I'm saying? Tannehill had to win by himself. Him and AJ.
Yep. All right.
Yep. He stopped throwing AJ the ball for some reason. Like he literally just stopped throwing him the ball.
Nah, that was hard. That was hard trying to run Derrick Henry. They should have been airing that ball out that day. AJ should have made Marlon Humphreys and Peters.
Marcus Peters.
He should have made them his beef for that day right there. I mean, that dude should have had 200 yards.
Exactly. That's what they should have did. And they wasn't throwing on the ball. Like, I'm like, what are they doing? You know what I'm saying? and he throwing a Khalif Raymond. He threw a pick. You know what I'm saying? Why are you throwing a Khalif? Why are you even looking that way? I'm looking at the way Nothing.
That's sometimes I feel like we get as coaching on offensive play calling, we get in our own head and we start to try to overthink shit. Like, oh, we've been going to AJ a lot this game. Well, let's try to throw him off and go over here. And it's like, man, I just think if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Let's get back to the conversation that we was having earlier. When we had Lamar Jackson, you know what I'm saying? They not gonna do that stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like they don't trust Ryan Tannehill when it's time to win a game on the line. You can trust Lamar with the game on the line. He a playmaker. You can trust him
because Lamar has legs that nobody else in the league has too, though. Like he has legs like nobody else has.
You gonna need that type of quarterback. You know what I'm saying? When we get to the playoffs,
everybody got legs. Pat Mahomes got legs. Or Josh Allen got legs. Like they all use their legs though. So that's crazy. Yep.
Let's believe 4th and 2. We gonna throw the ball. Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers. We going for it. And Ryan Tannehill, they were like, no, you know what I'm saying? They having second guesses. We can't do that.
But I mean, did we really have that second guess though when we had AJ last year? Or do you feel like we put Tannehill in those situations? Like, is it really Tannehill or is it the wide receivers that we don't have the faith in? Like, I get we don't have faith in that situation, but who's really to blame?
Literally, Tannehill was playing bad that whole season. Like, he was playing horrible.
Yeah. That was a bad year.
Yeah, right.
Super bad year for Tannehill. I don't know what was going on. I think he was going through some things, bro.
Like, he had to go to therapy. He said this offseason. And it looks like he's came better.
DUI downing. That's all it was.
Yeah, I think he was going
that was DUI downing because Derek Carr went through the same thing with him. He had, came off of probably his best season in the league. Bring in Todd Downing as the OC, and from there they just went downhill. Same thing with Tannehill. Tannehill coming off of his best season and bring in Downing. He started, throwing a whole bunch of interceptions. I mean, he just didn't look right out there. Now I think that he's playing with a clearer mind. He's dealing with, having no receivers and, not the best OC. I mean, bro, it ain't no problem. He's one of the worst OCs in the league or whatever. But I think Tannehill's biggest focus is just, do what I'm supposed to do as a quarterback, protect the ball. Whatever it takes to protect the ball. If I got to take a sack to protect the ball, that's what I do. If I got to throw it away, that's what I got to do.
It's just like there's no consistency around Tannehill whatsoever. Whether it's an offensive coordinator, whether it's the wide receivers, whether it's the O-line, there's no consistency for Ryan Tannehill. Well, at least Ryan Tannehill performs better than Mariota. We haven't had a losing season under Ryan Tannehill yet. He's had a winning record ever since he's came here.
Ryan Tannehill is way better than Mariota.
Yeah,
every coordinator change. Every year there's wide receiver changes. Every year different O-line interior. Like, where does this dude get a break of where he has to constantly keep learning and adapting new people and still do good? And we're still like, maybe he's not it. I don't think any other quarterback would survive what he's gone through. I think a lot of other quarterbacks would have lost their job and been Baker Mayfield by now. Because, I mean, Baker Mayfield's off to the Rams again, claimed off waivers today. Like, here it is, another third team, you trying again, but all these other teams have the same question marks that we have. But other quarterbacks just aren't surviving those situations. And I think that's where I'm like, man, if we just get some other pieces around him, I think Tannehill can shine to be better than what we see or envision of him. I'm not saying he'd be elite, but he'd be better than what we envision him. But there's nothing around him that stays consistent for him. And everybody else, we'd make excuses for him, but nobody seems to bring those up for Tannehill in the media when they talk about him on NFL Network and all these other places. There's like, oh, he's not performing, he's not doing good, but everybody else they start making excuses for.
What sickens me is when people make an excuse for Jimmy Garoppolo, but then killed Ryan Tannehill. They, lean on Jimmy Garoppolo going to a Super Bowl with the 49ers popping up in these NFC championship games, bro, you already know where that's coming from. That's Shanahan, and that's the 49ers defense. I mean, each one of these games, these big games that the 49ers have been in and lost, they've lost because of Jimmy Garoppolo and Shanahan. Either Shanahan gets the one to pass the ball and run in situations, and then you got Garoppolo out there who can't get an open receiver for whatever reason, or just all out just blows the game from start to finish. I mean, they always giving that man credit, and I look at him like there's no way that he's better than Ryan Tannehill. He's just been in a more favorable situation than Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, a lot of people don't get that. Get judged after their environment, and we don't sit there and actually break it down and give fair judgment across the board. We want to judge a lot of these quarterbacks or players like how they play here and play there, and then you gotta realize, well, a lot of these players got a lot of pieces around them, and I think like if you put Tannehill and some of these other offenses that have wide receivers and that have a better scheme fit, I mean, just for example, look what the Rams did with Stafford. He's not a top-tier quarterback. He's not the greatest elite guy out there, but he went out there and did enough to win them a Super Bowl. Let me change this camera battery.
And that's another player that I feel like people give too much credit to is Matt Stafford. I mean, he got a big arm and everything. Yeah, he, done some things in Detroit or whatever, but I mean, Calvin Johnson. I mean, that was his claim to fame right there. Calvin Johnson. And then he goes up over there to the Rams with Sean McVay or whatever. I mean,
he went to the perfect situation.
Say what now?
He went to the perfect situation. Like all he had to do.
Right. I mean, he's up over there with an offensive genius. They got Cooper Kupp playing at an MVP level, even though he didn't win MVP, which he probably should have won MVP.
He's a smart motherfucker wide receiver.
He is with Cooper Kupp, and you got Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey on defense, Von Miller. I mean, the dude was in a stacked situation. And, you take all of them away, look what you got now. You got Detroit all over again, even with that offensive genius running the team.
Well, right. You got to have pieces.
They look like Matt Stafford in Detroit. That's exactly what they look like right now. They look just like that.
So that's kind of my point is like, I believe Tannehill's better than Stafford. Anybody disagree with that?
I agree.
So if
I can agree with it.
So if we got the right pieces around, Tannehill can win a Super Bowl. Stafford did it, and he's just like you said. I completely agree with you. He's just a strong arm quarterback that can sling the ball in there. That's all he really is.
I'm gonna keep it funky with you, man. Stafford is probably one good block from. Who's the guy we had that played with the Bengals who were doing all the talking in Spain? It's probably one good block away from Spain from blowing that game for them.
Yeah.
Because if Spain wouldn't have got whooped by Aaron Donald, Joe Burrow probably would have completed that pass.
Yeah.
And got downfield, kept driving till they hit the end zone. I mean, that's probably the reason Matt Stafford has a Super Bowl right now. Yeah. So I mean, I think he deserves all that credit.
Yeah.
I mean, you put Ryan Tannehill in that same situation. You give him wide open ass Cooper Kupp to throw the ball to. You don't think he get there? You feel me? With that team he got, I think he get there.
They play call was nasty also, bro. They had some great plays. Yeah, it's easy. Everything, it's like it's somebody open. Like somebody gonna be open.
And you seen with Cooper Kupp, I mean, he's still good, but he ain't the best receiver in the league. You know what I'm saying? Look who the best receiver in the league now that they got their offensive coordinator, the Vikings. You know what I'm saying, over in the Vikings.
But
Oh
Cooper,
no, Devontae Adams.
Cooper's been hurt this year. But like Cooper is smart and he knows how to read defenses too. Like that's where Cooper and Devontae like tier at the top wide receivers for me because they actually know how to read a defensive scheme and where to actually I'm running this route, but the defense is like this, so I'm gonna set right here where the actual hole is, and my QB is gonna know that over time and chemistry that we're running this route, but this is where the window is, so we're gonna go to the window. And like Cooper Kupp breaks down defenses beautifully, and that's what makes him one of the best. But he's been injured this year, so he ain't really been doing much fighting injuries on and off. But then him and Devontae is one of my top two, or they battle back and forth to me as one of the best wide receivers in the game. Which I mean, Justin Jefferson's there too, but man, he's just.
But they 10-1, right?
Yeah, 10-2.
The Vikings not gonna do nothing in the playoffs.
It's quiet, like it's like a quiet. Like,
they kind of feel like a Rams year for them. They kind of got to do something after what they've done and been through with Kirk Cousins, right?
The Rams, not the Rams. The Vikings were kind of reminded me of us last year, bro. Like we were doing all this winning, and it seemed like we wasn't getting no type of media coverage. No one cared. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But the people in Minnesota, like you know what I'm saying, we was winning, and nobody cared outside of people in Tennessee. Like that's how it is right now. I feel like they feel like they're gonna choke in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't believe in Kirk Cousins. Because like he ain't good outside of 1 o'clock. But
they did that to the Eagles too. The year they won the Super Bowl, they wasn't talking about them till the divisional round.
Yeah, but they always do. They doing that with the Eagles now though. Like they so hype on the Cowboys winning that they don't even talk about the Eagles. Like they'll talk about them for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? They'll show their highlights. Yeah, they show AJ Brown a little bit, but after that, they was like, "Oh no, the Cowboys won by 30 points." Like they were analyzing how the Cowboys was doing everything. I'm like, man, they super hyped by the Cowboys. I want to see what they gonna do.
It's the quarterback, and it's the market with Philly. I mean, Philly. Can you consider Philly a big market? I mean, but it's not Dallas.
Yeah,
well, it's not Dallas, but it's a big market, right? Because it's
right. That's what I think it boils down to, though. I mean, it's about the quarterback and the market, which the Eagles, they got Jalen Hurts, who is just. I mean, he just started playing his best football this year, right here, and you got AJ Brown, you got Devontae Smith or whatever, but whenever Dallas is doing good, all that goes out the window. They gonna make up some stars for Dallas.
You feel me? Like, and they do that to them every year. They hype them up to the max.
Yeah,
they ain't going to the playoffs. They get put out. Like,
they only do that because they know they got the biggest fan base. So it's just like talking about the trending topic. This is the thing that has the most numbers. If we talk about Dallas, we know that they got they're America's team. Like
they're America's team.
Yeah, so they always get that favoritism. It's like they're not as good as y'all try to hype them up to be.
Nah, man.
Everybody see it. But I ain't gonna lie, Dallas is nice this year. But one thing I will say about Dallas.
Nice.
When they get up on you, it's a wrap, bro. Like them linemen coming at you, bro. Like,
that defense is very, very scary, but
that defense stupid, bro.
Dak, I'm not really scared of Dak.
But like that defense, 4th turnover, like they getting that ball.
Yes,
yeah, they can make some plays.
They getting that ball, bro.
They make some hell of good plays.
Yeah,
I just look at it like this: if you can stay up on Dallas, you can beat them. You gotta stay up on them. If you get behind them, and try to make a comeback on them, you're gonna lose. You know what I'm saying? They D-line get to you, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what they do. They gonna hit your quarterback. They're gonna make it. They're gonna strip them. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna pick them off. All this stuff.
Eagles too, though.
Yeah, the Eagles the same way.
Yeah, I got a defense.
Yeah, I honestly think. I honestly think the Eagles is the better team, but
they're more
just like you said or whatever, they gonna hype Dallas up like a mug. I mean, it's just that market, that Dallas market or whatever. I mean, you got Cowboy fans all over the world or whatever, and they've been thirsty for another championship, and you got them playing at the level they playing at right now. I mean, yeah, they're gonna get hyped up, but I think if they were to see Philly at some point in the playoffs or whatever, Philly would get them.
I think Philly's a complete team.
Yeah.
That's not one thing they can't do. You know what I'm saying? They can pass the ball on you. They throwing. I mean, they running on you. You know what I'm saying? They defense. They got two nice cornerbacks in Darius Slay and Bradbury. You know what I'm saying? They got two good safeties. Yeah,
I'm taking Dallas though. I ain't gonna lie.
You like Dallas?
I like Dallas over there. I ain't gonna lie. Just for some reason, I like Dallas over there.
I don't know, man. Before they
even though
you can sleep. You know what I'm saying? They were keeping up with them. Like, huh?
It's even though.
I say, look at this, because they both got great defenses, right? So this is how I break down that strategy for me: is do you really trust Dak more than Jalen Hurts to score more points? Because you know the defenses are going to do their jobs. So do you really think Dak is going to be able to outwork the Eagles defense more than Jalen's going to be able to outwork that Dallas defense?
Dak don't turn that ball over.
Dak's going to turn that ball over and miss reads left and right.
He turned the ball over, bro.
Jalen's just going to tuck the ball and take off running on you.
They turned the ball over.
Dak will turn the ball over.
That's true. Yeah.
Dallas got better running backs, but the Eagles take care of the football and got better receivers. You know what I'm saying? So
what is Dallas even offensive like identity right now? It's not
whatever you weak at. You feel
whatever close to both this Sunday. And plus two, you gotta take into account coaching. In a game like that, where the teams are that evenly matched, it's going to boil down to coaching, in which you know who will blow that game before.
Yeah. Agree with Crafty will blow that game. Though.
You know who will blow that game. Yeah. I mean,
he definitely
he's Dallas head coach for a reason.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it ain't because he's this big time Super Bowl winning coach.
Yeah.
McCarthy will blow that game and won't think nothing else about it. So that's why I say I think the Eagles will get them in a playoff game.
I think they're gonna sweep them though, bro. They're gonna play them again, and I think they're gonna sweep them. I think that's why. I think the NFC gonna come down to them too. That's my two picks because I feel like the Niners, they quarterback, they I don't believe in Purdy, and you know what I'm saying. The Vikings, I don't believe in Kirk Cousins. I think Kirk Cousins gonna get put out. You know what I'm saying? Somebody gonna put him out. Who else in the NFC that's it? Brady?
Yeah,
Brady. I don't think Brady and them got the team, but I mean, you can never count out Brady. You never count him out. If you give him time, he's gonna put you away. You know what I'm saying?
NFC, you got Eagles, Vikings, 49ers, Buccaneers, Cowboys, Giants, and Seahawks. And to mind you, all of Dallas division, it ain't just Dallas and Eagles. The Giants is 7-4, and the Commanders are 7-5 as well. Cowboys are 9-3, but like if the Giants mess up enough, the Commanders can be in there too. And they're gonna have two teams to deal with in their division. And we know that like division rivalries, it don't matter what the record is, you can lose real quick to somebody with a record lower than you just because they know how well you play and what you want to do.
Oh yeah.
So that division is leading over there in the NFC.
Damn, he pulling that for deep.
I believe in, you know what I'm saying? I believe it's going to come down to the quarterbacks, man. I just feel like the two quarterbacks that's going to do something is Dak and Jalen Hurts. You know what I'm saying? And maybe Tom Brady, depending on what matchups he get. You know what I'm saying? If he got to see the Niners, he gonna get the, you know what I'm saying? He going to get to the NFC Championship. You know what I'm saying? Or it depends on who Brady matches up with.
Right now it'd be the Cowboys. So most likely it's going to be Cowboys, Giants, or 49ers.
What seed of the Buccaneers? I know they the 4th seed. I'm gonna ask a stupid question. They the 4th seed. They probably gonna make the playoffs with a losing record.
They win in their division by like 2 games, I think.
I just don't. I wouldn't want to see Brady go. You got to go to Tampa. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the Cowboys blow that damn game.
It's Tom Brady.
It's
Tom Brady. Once you get in playoffs, I don't think he cares about that record no more. So I don't care what Tom Brady's record was all season. Once you get in playoffs, that's a whole different animal. So
it's that switch. He just flips that switch on.
when it comes to Brady, it's about when you take that lead on him, how much time you giving that man. Because if you give him a minute 30 and 2 timeouts, he gonna beat you.
He walking that down. He walking that down.
Right down, bro.
We just saw what he just did. Like he just came back for a game-winning drive last night.
He ain't never out of a game, bro.
He has the record for the most now, 44, right? I think it's 44 or 45. But he has the most record passing Dan Marino with the most comeback-winning, game-winning drives now. Like, they never put it past this dude. He's trying to own every record before he retires.
He the GOAT.
Yeah, that's the one player you never count out, bro. He can come back from anything. This man be down 30 points and come back. I swear. He down 30 points and come back.
Don't believe us? Ask the Falcons.
Yeah, bro. It don't matter, bro. I told people that like I was like, bro, I play in the AFC, bro. I have to keep up with Brady. That dude, bro, he will come back from anything, bro. He could be down 14 with 2 minutes left. He come back. Like, he gonna make it a game. Like,
right.
Yeah, my boy, he a Niners fan, and he played Brady this week. I'm like, dog. I said, bro. And he was like, oh yeah, I'm good, bro. We got the defense. We gonna hit him. I'm like, bro, it all comes down to how much time you give him. Man, nah, he ain't even gonna get a chance. I said, bro, I'm letting you know this now. We all played him, bro. Like, it's gonna come down to how much time you get it, man. I'm letting you know that now. Hey.
Yeah, man, you can't count them out. You definitely can't count them out. I got a feeling that the 49ers will get them, though.
Yeah.
But you can't count Tom Brady out. I mean, just when you think you got him, I mean, that's when you know he's dinking and dunking. And before you know it, you right there, you know, got to figure out how do I win this game and keep this man off the field.
Right.
They was like, oh, I trust my defense. I said, bro, you playing Tom Brady, bro. He gonna find something in that defense that he gonna pick on. Like, he gonna find something. I'm telling you, know, he always do.
The 49ers are playing with their third string quarterback right now.
Yeah.
Trey Lance out, Garoppolo out.
Yeah,
so
they'll be running the ball like none other. They'll see themselves in the game.
That's what I'm wondering. Is that offense going to stay on the field long enough to give their defense a break, or is it going to come third to fourth quarter and then Tom Brady's able to light them up because they gassed because they've had to be on the field so much in the first half from the offense not being able to sustain drives?
True.
So that's what I'm wondering with that game, because they could have gone out and got Baker. They didn't get Baker. They didn't go do any of these things. So you're stuck here with a not so great quarterback, and you have a playoff chance. So I just don't know. I don't know about that game because Brady's been playing bad, but it's that time of year where Brady turns shit on because it's games that matter.
All right.
Yeah, man. I always tell people, I'm like, dude, I told my boy he a Cowboys fan, and when Brady was coming over to town, we was like, oh, I ain't worried about no Brady, man, blah, blah, blah. He ain't gonna do all that in the NFC. That's your conference. First year won a Super Bowl. I said, bro, I told you, bro. I said, man, that dude, bro, he was beating some unbelievable defenses, bro. Like, you gotta think, he was dotting up the Ravens. He was dotting up the Steelers, the Broncos. You know, all them great defenses he was seeing. Like, there ain't no defense stopping that man, bro. I mean,
yeah,
he's different for sure.
I'm just glad he's out the AFC.
Yeah, I ain't got
finally.
Well, I'm telling you, brother, the most nervous I ever been as a Titans fan when we played him in that playoff game, bro. And that was the last game before he was in the Patriot uniform, bro. We punted the ball, we pinned him at the one. If he pull out 99 yards on us, bro, I'm like, he the GOAT, bro. You know what I'm saying?
That whole game, I was holding my breath, like,
oh yeah, for sure.
I was so nervous, and then we couldn't really pass. Neither team could really pass the ball because the Patriots, I mean, who was their best receiver out there at the time? Wasn't it Sanu?
They had Edelman.
They had, that's right. They had Edelman. I remember the touchdown. They had whatever. Tom was walking around like, hey, Julian, get it. And then they hurry up and snap the ball, catch us off guard. Yeah, I remember that. But yeah, man, neither team could pass the ball. I mean, that game right there was just Derrick Henry.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't stop Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry did just enough, and the defense and our defense that day
did
just enough for us to hold on and win that game.
I can't believe we won that game, bro. The way we played that game, I've never seen Tom Brady get beat like that, bro. I ain't never seen nobody beat Brady like that.
Man, we had to put them gloves on with them guys.
Yeah.
And then we smacked the Ravens, bro. And then we smacked the Ravens. Oh my god.
Yeah, boy, they talk trash. They were saying, they were like, oh yeah, they ain't got no chance to get the Ravens, bro.
Bro, we smacked them.
Yeah.
Them, bro. I was like, whoa. They caught me off
Henry
guard. They
was on
can't caught
another
me off
level
guard.
against the Ravens, bro. He was on a whole nother level. That's the best I ever seen Derrick Henry, bro. And he didn't even run for 200. Like, you know what I'm saying? That was an elite defense. He did that too.
They came in there to shut the Ravens up.
And then that Chiefs games, man. Patrick Mahomes happened.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie, I was praying the Texans put him out, bro. I was praying. Yeah, I would much rather see the Texans than I would to see the Chiefs. You feel me?
They was up by a lot, I thought, right? And then they came back.
Yeah, they wound up coming back and went and putting 50 on them boys.
No,
50.
That's crazy right there.
You talking about the Texans when the Chiefs played the Texans that week? We beat the Ravens. Yeah. Texas fans shouldn't have anything else to say after that game right there. They shouldn't even be talking to anybody about playoffs and who's gonna be a first round exit or whatever with their track record in the playoffs. I mean, this the same team who also got shut out at home by the Chiefs in the playoffs. They was out there trying to run J.J. Watt as the quarterback.
Yes.
I mean, who is they sitting up there trying to laugh at about a playoff game?
Yeah, they act like I don't know. So in the playoffs. I'm like, bro, we at least our games be competitive, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? He lose a game at the end.
Bro, they're the only team this year that's already eliminated from the playoffs. The only team that's already eliminated from the playoffs.
Right.
I be feeling sorry for Briggs, bro. He ain't got he really do be podcasting every week for them darn Texans, bro. And he has to deal with this garbage. He has to sit there and watch this garbage every week, bro. I feel sorry for him.
Bro, I just know this offseason is going to be exciting for them because there's going to be so much going on. They're going to have a lot going on. Whether it's going to be good excitement or bad excitement, I don't know. But it's going to be a lot of excitement. They got to get a coach and move all types of shit around.
They better not blow them 2 high draft picks they got. What they got? They got like what, the 1st and the 4th or something like that?
Yeah. I think that's what it's projected for right now.
On because, bro, they get Bryce Young, bro. I'm telling you, dude, he cold. I'm letting you know it now, bro. It's like getting Deshaun Watson.
Dude, they'll find a way to jack that off. Sure, you see you see what they doing with Watson? They finally found him a quarterback, and what they do? They let this man do whatever. They pretty much assisted with this man's fetishes or whatever. Hey, we'll give you some non-disclosure forms or whatever so that you can give to the women. They can't say anything. I'm like, dude, man, y'all got to have some kind of daggone morals as an organization. You can't be assisting the players in their foolishness. I mean, that right there, they screwed themselves out of a franchise quarterback.
They did, bro. I ain't never seen nobody have to get rid of a franchise quarterback like that, bro. That was just terrible. That's why I'm telling you, boy, I'm just waiting. I'm like, please, Ravens, just be stupid, bro. Just don't pay Lamar Jackson, bro. Please let him get rid of him so we can go and pick him up. You know what I'm saying?
That'd be tough. That'd be tough though.
Lamar puts masses in seats too.
Hey, boy, just imagine stadium.
Bro,
imagine all the Ravens fans becoming Titan fans. You know it's gonna be some. I'm following Lamar to Tennessee.
But my thing is, how are we gonna pull in a QB here? We gotta get some wide receivers first. If that's what we're gonna make a move to get somebody a free agent to come here.
T. Higgins, man, they ain't gonna pay that boy. Why?
Man, they'll let Boyd go. I don't think they'll let. I said I don't think they'll let T. Higgins go. Didn't T. Higgins, Joe Burrow, and Jamar Chase all play at LSU together too?
T. Higgins played with Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, at Clemson.
Okay.
Yeah,
So is it Boyd? Because they drafted 2 wide receivers from LSU, one the year before Chase, and then Chase too. So is it Boyd? I thought they had 2 LSU receivers.
No. That's Jefferson.
Ah, that's right. Okay, that's right. Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just think, boy, that's going, man. We gotta go ahead. Once we get the new GM, man, everybody gonna do their research on him, bro, and we gonna find out about this dude. Like I said, I hope he's young. You know what I'm saying? A young
who do y'all want,
bro?
I like who y'all want though? As GM.
I don't know. I've seen people saying Louis Riddick though. Like I was like Louis Riddick. I don't really know.
I would love Louis Riddick now that you brought that, because like I haven't been paying attention to the GM searches, but Louis is one of those dudes that like I think has a good understanding of the game and how to evaluate talent. Like he's really good with that. I like Louis Riddick, but I don't think he's ever had a GM spot. So that's almost like going for like Mike Mayock in taking a chance. Like he's been in the scout and he's been in those front office rooms, but I don't think he's ever been a GM.
I'm not even gonna get myself hyped up. This is gonna be somebody in house.
Yeah, I got a feeling that's gonna happen too.
Yeah.
Man, and you know what? He probably threw his name out there today.
This man said
who's the guy, the Carly guy, whatever his name is?
They probably gonna just keep him there.
Yeah, they gonna keep him as the GM, man. I just see it right now. We gonna get ourselves hyped up thinking we finna get this new shiny GM. The whole time they just finna retain this guy they got as the acting GM right now. And we gonna be
if they keep this dude right here, it's Vrabel as the GM, bro. Vrabel's the GM. Bro.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's almost like I can see that happening so much because it makes so much sense for so much of carousel that's happened, from offensive coordinators changing every year on Vrabel and leaving other teams to players changing all the time. I can see them like, I'm just tired. I want somebody that's been here. Like, I'm tired of all this change. I'm tired. I want somebody that's going to stick around. You've been here. I think they thought they had that with Arthur Smith. You've been a Titans coach. You've been here forever. You worked from the ground up to be here. You're definitely going to stick around. And then he was gone after a year. It's like, I can see that happen because so much shit changes, but I'm with you. I don't think I want in-house to happen. I want them to go out and get something.
I do too.
Bring in a fresh mind who doesn't have any ties to this team. Because when you bring in guys from from within or whatever, they probably up under the same mindset as you or whatever. They want to keep on doing the same thing that's working, as opposed to somebody else from the outside who's going to come in and assess your situation, tell you what you're doing right versus what you're doing wrong, and come up with a game plan on how we gonna fix it.
Yeah, facts. So you get some people that you bring in-house that just can't get over the hump and still have that, well, John would have done it this way, or John like this, and you did, or I got to be better than John. It's like, don't need all those expectations. We just need you to come in, be you, and develop the team. Exactly. Yeah. And that's the problem with sometimes in-house stuff, that some bad habits are already incorporated, that you need to bring somebody from outside the box to help break some of those bad habits up.
That's what I'm saying. A new face is what we all want, man. We want somebody that's going to promote change. We want something new. You get what I'm saying? Something a little bit new. Like, to keep some of the old there, like the old running and physicality, but add something new, man. Add something fresh, something exciting to look at. Man, I want to be excited at the Titans game, but to see an offense that's going to score, that we know going to score on people. And I'm a Tennessee Vols fan, so like that's kind of what they did. You know what I'm saying? They've been running the ball down people's throat for about over 20-something years, and they weren't winning nothing. So they said, we're gonna go with the flashy new offensive coordinator, new coach that's gonna throw the ball all over the yard and score 50 points a game. You know what I'm saying? That it changed the whole culture.
Yeah, because I don't mind this aggressive, tough, hard hitting type of style, but I'm tired of being this boxing style of jab here, and let's get our blows in and get our counts up. I want to be that Mike Tyson. I want them knockout blows. Like, yeah, we're tough. Yeah, we're fighting, but I want us to be that, oh, we got to see this because they're going to knock you in your teeth type of physicality. That's that, like, we've been physical, but I'm ready to see that next step taken in that physicality to just actually sparks fear in people from how physical we are.
Long story short, we shouldn't be splitting with bad teams.
What the Tennessee Titans are missing right now is they can't get in a shootout with nobody. That's what the problem is. That we can't see. That's the reason why we got blown out by the Eagles, because we can't get in a shootout.
No.
We only gonna score 17 to 20 points, and that's the only type of game we gonna win. You get what I'm saying? We ain't gonna win no game where somebody put 35 on us, 40. Yeah. That's what we missing.
And that's the most points we've given up all year. Well, we've been averaging, 20 points a game of giving up on defense, and they come in and score 35.
Exactly. They knew that shit. They can't survive no shootout, bro. Just keep throwing bombs, bro, and we're gonna win. We'll come out here with this W, bro. They can't win that type of game.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, we got to be able to sling that mug, bro. When we need to.
Yeah. We ain't got to be a pass first team, but we need to be having a reliable, respectable passing game.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Should be no reason a team should feel like they can come out here and put 5 down defensive linemen up against our offensive line and roll with that right there, because I mean that right there pisses me off as well, man. Whenever these teams just, you know what, y'all want to set up and run the ball, fine. We finna throw an extra defensive lineman out here. Y'all run the ball all you want to. And then when we can't run the ball, guess what? Y'all not finna pass the ball against us. We not worried about y'all.
Yeah, because the wide receivers can't get open.
We just gonna man you up and
dare you to make them move.
That's how we gonna play you. We ain't even gonna blitz you.
Yeah.
That's literally what the Bengals did, though. They had 6 linemen, and we were still running the ball. I'm like, bro, like this man, Derrick Henry, bro. I'm talking about running into a crowd of people.
No holes, no lanes, no gaps open, nothing, bro. And they're like, he's washed. It's like he's literally running into a brick wall. There's no blocking.
Bro,
they just ready to discredit us. Yeah.
They even asked Vrabel, they was like, Vrabel, why you keep running the ball with Derrick Henry all the time? He was like, who are we supposed to throw it to?
Exactly.
Yeah.
He literally said that, who the hell are we supposed to throw the ball to?
People were saying it might have been a shot at JROB right there.
That's a shot at JROB right there, man.
That's
a shot. Because, bro, like, what you traded away my wide receiver, I got to run the ball on everybody.
Because, like, he has to be tired at some point of trying to – because, like, he tries to answer these questions right and the right way to make the organization look good. But in that situation, you can just tell he's like, I got to figure out a way to campaign. Like, we was even talking to – like, me and RJ was talking a couple weeks ago. I don't know if y'all saw, like, on the Mike Vrabel show when they made that push about Jeffrey Simmons and his contract thing. Like, that looked like a media ploy skit from Vrabel to show that, like, you better not let this man go. You better sign this man. I have never in this history of franchise seen us put together a reel of clips like that for another player to highlight how well they are and how deserving they are of getting a new contract ever. And they highlighted that so beautifully. And I was like, that's Vrabel's way of saying, like, this dude needs to stay. You better sign this. Like, I made it pointedly clear about the AJ situation and you still went and did it. I'm going to be very, very clear, and I'm going to make sure I have the fans on my side that you do not get rid of Jeffrey Simmons. Because I heard something from a Major League Baseball GM that retired once, and he said that in baseball, at least, and sometimes when they're ready to get rid of a player, they'll leak out a rumor, true or not true, about that player just to see how the fan base will feel about them possibly getting rid of that player. And that's what kind of that A.J. Brown situation first felt like, because we never heard anything bad about A.J. Then a couple weeks before the trade, we start hearing he's not a good teammate. He's troublesome in the locker room. He's all these other things start coming out. And you're like, this starts to seem like we're about to get ready for AJ, and you're prepping to see how the fan base is going to take it. And it just feels like that a lot of times when now these organizations come out and say things, I'm like, is that really how it is? Or is that you trying to sugarcoat what you did to the fan base to make you look better for the decisions you made?
Right, I agree with that, man. I never did believe the AJ stuff or whatever. I mean, AJ, you know, he's a dude that wears his emotions on his sleeve. I mean,
I'm gonna step away, but right back.
You know, when you go to these negotiations or whatever, things are going to be said or whatever, and AJ is the type of dude, he's not going to hold anything back.
No.
I mean, the dude, and I hate to say this or whatever, because I was so on board with him, you know, saying that he didn't want to be here or whatever, but he probably did want to be here. Yeah, I mean, he probably did want to stay because, I mean, we were winning games. I mean, it wasn't like we were losing. He knew he was the best receiver on the team or whatever. I mean, and this is why I say I didn't believe the rumors or whatever about bad teammate or whatever. I mean, his teammates loved him. I mean, there wasn't any issues in the locker room with AJ.
No, I think it was
just, you know,
it was JROB's fault, bro.
Yeah, it was just, you know, negotiation. AJ got upset, got to, you know, doing AJ, getting on Twitter, talking or whatever. And JROB just, you know, for whatever reason, he felt like he was over AJ.
I completely agree with you on that. And I feel like that's, everybody's like, well, why now? And that situation happened. And I feel like him saying the things he's been saying and the way he's acted on Twitter made Jon Robinson and helped justify Jon Robinson's decision that, hey, he's a bad teammate. He does make antics and this and that. And it was validating for a while. But then AJ comes in to Tennessee and Philly. And I don't know if y'all was reading any of the press when they was talking to the players. None of the players had anything bad to say about AJ. And there at first, it kind of pissed me off because I was like, y'all better be mad. Y'all ain't hear what he's been saying on Twitter, this and that. But then looking at everything, pulling emotions out, it's like, maybe that was their way of also saying, hey, what Jon Robinson has been saying about this dude ain't right. Like, we love him. We adore him. We don't see a bad teammate. Kevin Byers, he was like, I got a much respect for him. I look forward to seeing him before the game, going up, talking to him, giving him a hug. Man, that's my brother. That's, you know, a teammate for me. I have much love for him. So it's like, it just started to feel more and more like Jon Robinson made a mistake, and it was starting to get more and more exposed. And then he comes out and plays like even before that game. AJ hugged Jon Robinson, Amy, and Mike Vrabel before the game and talked to them, all three of them. So it's like, how much bad blood is there? And I'm kind of with you. I feel like AJ was more talking, not like he wanted out of Tennessee, but he was hurt, that like kind of betrayal. Like he didn't see that coming. Like I feel like that came from a place of hurt now.
I feel like Vrabel as well, while all this was going on with AJ on Twitter, on Instagram or whatever, I feel like Vrabel was behind the scenes telling JROB, like, look, man, don't do anything stupid. The Twitter stuff, I can handle that. I'll sit down, I can talk. I really believe that Vrabel would have handled the Twitter stuff.
Hell yeah.
He would have put AJ in his place about the Twitter stuff, and AJ would have listened to him.
I mean, or just pay him, and it would have stopped.
Yeah.
Right, but that's the one thing.
It wasn't gonna stop unless somebody said something, and that somebody would have had to be Vrabel. And Vrabel was gonna say something because you know Vrabel, he didn't like the Twitter stuff as well, but the Twitter stuff wasn't enough to where he said, hey, I'm ready for you to leave. It wasn't that bad. I mean, it ain't like he's on social media doing workouts in his driveway or whatever.
Yes.
The team practicing and all of that. I mean, it ain't like, he's doing some Randy Moss stuff or whatever.
Or T.O.'s antics and shit.
Yeah, he ain't doing none of that.
And I'm with you, pay the man. I'm with you on that. But like look at, I think like all this highlights back to a Jon Robinson issue. Like we didn't have the salary. That was a place that, like, when we keep rolling back to, that's the one place that you was doing bad and managing and erring was the salary cap. Because remember at the beginning of this season, when the reporters were talking to Jeffrey Simmons, they're like, have you had negotiations with the Titans about your contract signing? He said, yeah. They sat me down and they said, I deserve this contract, that they want to give me this contract, but they don't know how they're going to pay me and where they're going to get the money. That's not something I want to hear sitting down at a negotiation table, to tell me that my team that doesn't really pay big contracts don't have enough to pay me what I'm worth, but they feel like I'm worth it. So like, I think that's the whole AJ situation again. They sat down and said that same thing to him. Hey, AJ, you're worth it. All that money. We agree. We love having you here. We just don't know how we're going to pay you. We don't know where we're getting the money. I mean, Colorado just did the same thing to Deion. They signed Deion Sanders. We don't know where we're going to get this money. I don't know how we're going to pay Deion, but we're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not a good negotiation tactics to come to the table with.
I was just about to say that ain't nothing but a negotiation tactic, and it's a poor one as well, because
in our situation, it's true. We don't have the money. We don't have it. We got $2 million in cap space, maybe $4 now because we restructured some contracts, but Jeffrey Simmons,
don't have it with cap space. You just said it right there. We don't have it with cap space. Some people are just up under the assumption that we just out here really broke. Nah, that ain't the case. These is millionaires or billionaires. I mean, I can't call their pockets. All I know, they richer than the whole fan base put together.
Yeah,
they got money to pay anybody they want to pay. It just boils down to that salary cap, and you already know what time it is with an NFL front office. If they can get a player at their price, they gonna do it every single day of the week.
But it seems like we don't do that. We do the opposite, right? We got these players that we know deserve it and don't give them the contracts, and then we go get free agent players and give them a contract that then after they play for a few years, we realize that contract was a higher paying contract than what they're actually worth. Vic Beasley, fucking that Bud Dupree, their contracts ain't for what the caliber of play they've been giving us. But yet we let the caliber of play that we should have signed walk away when we took a risk in gambling in free agency. Like we keep risking in free agency with John rather than just sign them, find the money, cut players that you have. Like you really feel, well, they're really good and they help us on special teams and they block it. Let them go because those pieces make up, but those pieces are easier to replace than the AJ Browns are. Those little pieces can be replaced, but it's frustrating that he mismanaged the cap and free agency as bad as he did, because that's the one error. Like we have all these holes to fix and we have no money to fix them.
Exactly. And that's why I was like, man, we ain't going nowhere with this roster. Like the cap's so jacked up. And then like I said, you see other teams that have very little cap. Their team is stacked. You know what I'm saying? And all right, we got very little cap. And our team got the worst offensive line in football. They got one of a broke down defensive line right now. We got wide receivers that's trash that nobody's scared of, and we got a garbage ass fullback. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand it, man. We literally just got rid of our fullback, bro.
Because think about it, AJ didn't go to an Eagles for an outstanding contract. He got a contract that he was fairly valued at.
Yes.
And
we just didn't sign him because we don't have it.
We about to get rid of a lot of people in this offseason. This offseason, man, we're gonna lose a lot of people that we loved. We probably gonna lose people that we were like, why are we doing that? We're going to have to I'm telling you, man, I just feel like we might need to blow up this roster, bro. Especially if we get put out the first round. Like this is, man, we might have started over, bro. And I hate to say it, but like if they gonna go with Malik Willis at quarterback, then I wouldn't be too mad about it.
Not yet.
Or build around
let me throw this question out there to y'all. and y'all know this is coming. Who's going to be the surprise cut?
Surprise cut.
What you say?
So I already say Bud Dupree, and that's going to be the media is going to say that's surprising. I already know when Bud Dupree cut happens, they're going to be like, "But why this bit did it get his salary capped?" So media's going to be surprised by that, but no Titans fan will be surprised by that when they actually start looking at that.
I don't think there's going to be. If there's a surprise cut, it's going to be Ryan Tannehill. Like that's be the only one that would surprise me. You know what I'm saying? That's the only one because I look at it like anybody name on it, anybody but Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill or Kevin Byard. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't them three or Jeffrey Simmons, them four. If it ain't them four,
Derrick Henry won't be the surprise though.
I say Robert Woods.
Yeah, I think he gone.
I think that's going to be the surprising one.
He ain't that contract too much, bro. He getting paid $10 million to drop balls and barely run routes. Like,
and I think he was only brought in because John wanted him. And then he restructured the contract because John's trying to keep him around. I don't think he's truly a wide receiver or a player that Vrabel wants because have they schemed anything for him?
No. He don't even run end rounds. He used to run a bunch of end rounds.
I know, but even when Treylon Burks came in and we had Nikina Westbrook over there and we had a good – like we still wasn't getting Robert Woods scheme plays open or even really looking his way. So I think that's going to be one that's going to be one and done in and out.
That's something the Rams did a good job with too. When they had Woods, they schemed him open a lot. They still do it with Cooper Kupp and their other receivers. They scheme them open, and you want an offensive coordinator who can scheme the receivers open because you're going against other cornerbacks. Most of them are good cornerbacks or whatever, and you don't want to be sending your wide receivers out there asking them to just straight up win a one-on-one matchup every single play. Nah, you want to put them in position to where they gonna eat. And that's something we don't get around here. We don't get – our guys have to win their one-on-ones. If they can't separate, they're not going to make a play.
Yeah. They don't really scheme. They don't really just run those schemes to get wide receivers open. It's like they need big body wide. They run big body wide receiver routes.
Right, but when Treylon comes back, you see that they scheme plays for him. Mm-hmm. You see that we don't normally do that, but you can see that when Treylon comes back, we're designing and calling plays specifically just to get him open, and you could tell. Some of those plays we even run with Treylon when he goes out for wide receivers, you know that the other wide receivers are just running decoy routes. Run to the other side of the field or stay down low. We're going to run him top. So you keep your defender down here so he has a one-on-one matchup over here on this side of the field or up over top and stuff.
They pretty much feed them the AJ plays.
Yes, but even to your example, we run end rounds. We used to do that all the time, and we still don't run them to Robert Woods. Like he's that one player that's like he's almost Julio again this year. He's doing nothing. Even from a number 2 standpoint, he's doing nothing. But I don't.
That's the OC though, man. That's the OC though. He ain't. I get everybody involved.
True.
Because Woods last year, he was looking good. Somebody doing everything.
But some players are just good scheme fits for certain teams and play just great in that scheme, And like the coach just understands them and understands when the moment and the times are right and how to set up those moments. And I think that's what the Rams were. There's so much there that they had that Robert, he's not a bad wide receiver by any means, but he looked better than he actually was worth on the Rams. He's almost feels like the Christian Kirk contract for the Jaguars now. Like, yeah, he's good, but he's not worth what we're paying.
All right.
Who do you think is going to be a surprise?
Shoot.
And they're going to trade Derrick Henry.
Nah.
I'm not ruling anything out. I'm trying to think about who would be a surprise, but I honestly can't say anything would be a surprise to me because we bring in a new GM from the outside, I'm pretty much going to expect anything. That includes Ryan Tannehill being cut. That includes Derrick Henry being traded or cut.
Yeah, he wants a whole brand new team.
Well, I mean, also though, too, you got to think about this too. With what after just happened with Jon Robinson and Amy saying he didn't talk to her about the AJ situation. You know, when this new GM hire comes in, she's sitting down. And it's like, you're going to run every trade and every free agency through me before you do it. So, do you really think some of these other players that will? Because I know, like, the players I know that are safe are going to be hard fought, gritty players. Like Derrick Henry's good. Ben Jones is good. Jeffrey Simmons is good. Kevin Byard's good. David Long's good. Those people with those dogs in the fight, that's exactly what Vrabel wants to embrace. So I don't see that they're going to bring in a GM that'll take over. I think that Vrabel's going to have most of the control, and that GM's basically just going to be trying to find players that Vrabel will like.
And we'll be getting
as long as Vrabel ain't just outright picking the player, we cool.
Right. Correct. I want them to be able to sit down with somebody and be like, look, this is what I'm looking for at this position, I want these type of players, I like these players. And then that person understands and it can then develop the scouts to search for that type of talent, put them out where they need to go be, start bringing in that talent that we need to do or to need to have, because we're constantly looking at the same draft picks every year. Cornerback, wide receiver, offensive line. Every single year. Those are the phases of emphasis we got to constantly fix.
Yeah. So what y'all think they're going to do in the draft? They're going to try to fix the line in the first round?
I have no clue, but
I mean, you got to if you don't improve it, the free agency.
That's what I was about to say.
Also think we need another receiver on the
Yeah,
other side of Burks.
That's why I'm like, man, please somehow, some way, we can get T. Higgins, bro. Cause I know he's number one on their team. Oh God.
No. I mean, him and Burks go hand in hand.
Let's see who's coming up as wide receiver free agents for next year.
You think T. Higgins number one?
Yeah, I think so, man. He nice.
He definitely nice.
What T. Higgins got? What his yard looking like, bro?
You feel me, though? But he got Jamar on the other side of him, though, so it's easy right now.
Bro, there ain't really nobody.
That's what I was saying. Like, he got 800 yards and 5 TDs right now, bro. Like, he almost got 1,000.
Yeah. I like T. You feel me? That's a big target. Him and Burks will go good together.
Yeah, T cool.
Yeah. But also, man, I think we also need to still get like a fast guy. We ain't had that in a long time, man. Like a deep.
That's what we need.
That's why I said
bro.
The young dude, he think like us. Oh yeah, we need all this speed, like on man.
You know what I'm saying? We need a speed receiver like who can boom. I'm gonna take the top off.
We need players that's gonna bail out an offensive coordinator, bro. Like, and that's feel like that's what we ain't got on this team. We like our offensive coordinator is having to do way too much than what he need to do, bro. And we need a wide receiver that just makes stuff easy for him. Mm-hmm.
Bro, we need an Anquan Bolden type. That's the wide receiver type that we need. Like, we need a fast dude. Like, that's definitely one of them we need. But then we also need that Anquan Bolden that's big, physical, and runs routes open and gets open. Burks is going to be more of our take the top speedster guy. That's where I think he'll be. He's going to be our take the top off the defense guy. And then if we had a really good physical, possessive wide receiver to handle underneath.
Him and AJ, bro. Oh my God.
Man. What could have been, bro? Just imagine.
That would have been nasty.
Just imagine them two together, bro.
Look, I don't think we'd be hating on so much Cody Hollister right now if we still had AJ Brown, because I think he'd probably even look better with AJ on.
Nah, that man would be in the practice squad if we had AJ.
Man, ain't no telling. They love his block. They love Cody Hollister and his block, and ain't no daggum telling. And with everything that's going on with this team as far as injuries, AJ more than likely would have missed some games, And
long
ago, been out there.
To a whole new team and stayed healthy the whole season. I don't understand it.
They haven't got hurt at all, bro. Like what?
Julio Jones been playing. I'm like, man, what in the world?
Bro,
I thought Julio was hurt right now.
He came back.
He came back.
Man, that man had a good catch last night. Our clutch catch.
Bro, he comes in and makes one good catch. Not even a game, but every once in a while, he'll make one good catch, enough to keep you talking about him in the media. I think that's how he's been able to get 2 contracts out of 2 teams, because it's that little sparkle or glimmer. Like he made that one catch for Tom Brady and then got hurt on it and was out for weeks. And then he comes back this game and makes a catch, and it's great. Just like, but he ain't doing shit else outside of those momentum catches.
Yeah.
I don't see how he got a contract from Tampa Bay after how he played for us that year. Like, they really must have felt that we just didn't scheme him.
Brady.
They knew we can't throw the ball, so they were like, "Oh yeah, these boys."
But how do you not look at Julio and how he couldn't keep a hip healthy for us all year, and be like, "Yeah, we're going to play him not top tier wide receiver money, but
with a hamstring,
a respectable." But he was messing with hip too, wasn't he? He was messing.
No,
who had hip? Oh no, that was AJ had hip, huh? Somebody was fucking with a hip last year. I might be off on that. Probably so. It might just be the hip this year I keep hearing about.
Hey, I got a good question for y'all. Is anybody gonna hire JROB?
Oh
I think they'd be stupid if they don't.
Oh yeah.
He's still a good GM. That's what people gotta realize. Just because this man got fired, don't say that he ain't a good GM. Nah, he's a good GM. I mean, you gotta take into account what we had when we got him versus where we are right now. I mean, he brought us Derrick Henry, he brought us Kevin Byard, he brought us Jeff, AJ, David Long Jr., Ben Jones. I mean, the list goes on. He done brought good players in. It's just, he done created a situation to where is not sustainable anymore. So for one of these teams who, is looking for a reputable GM, JROB is the way to go for them, and they're not going to let him slide.
Yeah, and remember, this is his first run at GM too. This was his first run. He was straight coming from scouting and doing this. Like, he's a great GM, or not great, but he's a good GM. He still has a learning curve. He's still adjusting. Like we said, this is his first GM gig, so there's still things for him to learn. We just have a window that we can't wait for that learning process. And the learning curve that just happened might have rubbed the owner just enough of the wrong way that she has lost all trust in you. And that AJ Brown situation is what it kind of seems like. But I still think he'll be one of the GMs that lasts in this league for a long time. He can go to a team that's still building, and he probably will learn from this experience and be able to maybe take that next step. But we thought he might have been the GM for us, and we had to realize and come to realization at a good timing, I think, that he was just a stepping stone GM for us. We know what we need, and we know what we don't need now because of him.
Yeah,
so
I just feel like
he gonna go to. You think he gonna stay in the AFC South?
Bro, I don't know what team actually needs like having GM troubles right now to throw a name out there like that. But maybe Carolina.
Yeah, that'd be a good place. I see Carolina. Somebody in the NFC South.
Oakland?
Huh?
I mean, not Oakland. Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, he gonna go to a team that need that.
Oh yeah,
I'm telling you now, a team that's sorry, that want a GM that's gonna get them out their hole and get them to respectable. That's the perfect place he needs to go. You know what I'm saying?
Cardinals.
Maybe Cleveland.
Yeah, Cleveland wouldn't be bad either. I just feel like he gonna go somewhere where he get to see her 2 times a year, bro. I just gotta feel it.
He just got to figure out. He also has to figure out how to do contract negotiations. He has to learn how to handle that salary cap. Like, that's the part of GM he hasn't learned. He can scout and he can draft, but we already knew that. He comes from the scouting room and has scouted many great players from when he was, hands-on scout. But he just don't know how to handle them contract negotiations, and he just doesn't make hits on free agency.
I mean, it is crazy how they fired him like in the middle of the season though, bro. Like,
well,
that says a lot.
Well, that's it. But that's the thing. Like we were talking before the podcast, and that's why everybody's like, "This timing makes no sense," right? Well, for us in the football world, this is when football is actually picking up, right? It's playoff time for coaches and
anything
players
can
and
happen.
stuff.
Yeah.
But from a GM side, the new year starts this month for them, basically, because trade deadline's done with, right? Unless I'm going to get somebody off the waiver cap, there's no roster changes I really can change. And then at this point, I shouldn't be making a change because we're at the time of playoff time. So it's time to start thinking as a GM next year. This month starts the month where you can start finally talking to college players about, what you want to do. You start doing your interviews and finally start talking. So as a GM perspective, this is the beginning of the off season. Because here in a couple of weeks, we're going to start being able to talk to college players about what we want to do. So if we know we're not going to carry on with Jon, let's get him out the room so we can figure out what we're looking for as talent, and we can start evaluating that from the very, very beginning of our process so we have no time wasted, no resources wasted.
And you just brought up a good point right there, too.
Great point.
College. I mean, shoot, who's to say the Titans ain't looking at some of these college coaches as, possibly coming in and, being, well, not the coaches, but you can say the coaches. Yeah,
coordinator.
Coaches. I mean, they come in and be a GM because, I mean, the way the league is going right now, I mean, they take and, these quarterbacks, these multi-talented quarterbacks, and, these big, fast receivers that's in college, and they coming straight in the league and becoming stars or whatever. So, they may be looking at, a coach that's, what, I think I want to, go to the NFL and try my hand at, being an NFL GM.
Let me get Lincoln Riley as OC.
Oh, fuck Lincoln Riley, bro. I'm OU, bro. Come on, fuck Lincoln Riley. How he did us?
Yeah,
bro,
he did that.
We still had a game to play, and you leave with a game still to be played? Oh.
It's business, nothing personal.
Bro, that's personal. That's not business. You finish out the season and then go and take off.
For sure,
bro, they was literally throwing his shit out the campus offices from the 2-story from where he was at. He was literally throwing his shit out the fucking window. They, took everybody with them too.
He did though. Not I hope Todd down and gone like in the morning.
Yeah, if they say Todd down and gone, bro, I'm gonna be happy.
That's coming. That's coming in whenever our season ends.
Yeah,
that'll come.
Fired.
That'll come when this investigation gets done with, because like everybody keeps saying, like, and that's a lot of media's talked about today is that, well, how is Jon gone? This don't make no sense. And Todd Downing just had a DUI and he's still there. Well, NFL's still doing their investigation on his DUI. And that DUI ain't just a DUI incident like most of them are. This one's a little bit more stickier because not only did that DUI bring to the league's attention that the Titans might be drinking on NFL team planes, which is against the rules. A picture got leaked of the Commanders of Tyler Heineke drinking a beer on a team plane when they were flying back from one of the game wins as well. So now there's a league investigation going on to seeing if teams are actually drinking on their planes.
I'm pretty sure they is, bro.
Steph.
All these teams are drinking.
I'm pretty sure there's a law or a clause somewhere in those NFL contracts to say you can't be fired while you're on an ongoing investigation. And I think that's the reason why Downing still has a job, is because they're still investigating this matter. And once it's done, I think he's going to be gone. He's definitely going to be suspended because nothing's happened to him. These things don't go without repercussions. He's going to get suspended or something once this investigation's over with, because he's not just going to get slapped on the wrist. You're going to get punished. But I think he's going to be gone, but they just got to wait till the investigation's done to legally do anything.
I hope you're right.
Because that's the kind of shit that they were talking about with the Watson situation, right? We can't do nothing right now until the investigation gets done. Then we'll be able to do things.
I want to know. I feel like I'm ready for them to get rid of Downing before that suspension comes. Like, you feel me?
That damn DUI might have saved his job a couple more weeks, to be honest.
Yeah.
Down be tripping, bro. He made me mad. I don't even like talking about that.
Bro, somebody said that Jon Robinson was like the Mariota of GMs for us because he improved us, but we didn't get there. So that's where I feel like Todd Downing is for us, of the offensive coordinators. He's the Mariota of the offensive coordinators. Man, he shows glimmers that look good every once in a while, but man, majority of the time you fall short, bro. And it's just not there.
Not Downing, because I once was a fan of Mariota. I ain't never been a fan of Downing.
That's true. I was a hell of a fan of Mariota's. I was rooting for him, and I still like him as a person, but the league just ain't came to realization like how many times this man has to show you who he is before you believe him.
Yeah,
he's a backup quarterback at best. He don't have the dog in him.
No dog. He nice.
He's nice. He's a great person, but he doesn't have the dog.
But yeah.
Yeah, man. We can go ahead and end this broadcast, man. I think knock out. Oh, God.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. We done rocked out for almost 3 hours.
Yeah, we did. Oh,
we were just
we had a lot to say.
Expecting to get on here and just do a quick show about the firing of Jon Robinson or whatever. Shoot, we done talked 3 hours. We done had Colts fans up in here, and we done started entertaining Lamar Jackson.
Came up with all types of theories.
Crazy stuff. Man. But, I mean,
in this thing.
Yeah, it's been a great night.
A whole list of stuff that we could talk about, bro. And we finished the whole list, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Very good.
But yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and end this broadcast, maybe. Hey, thank you for tuning out for the Titans Coliseum. You know how we do out here, man. Keep on like, subscribe if you're still here. You know what it is. Go ahead and end this.
If you still here, use a real one.
Maybe you really.